Hello and welcome to Star Wars News and Weekly Comic Recap presented by Tales from the Darkside, the show where you don't have to eat, sleep, and breathe Star Wars to have an opinion about Star Wars. Tonight we're covering 3 Star Wars titles: Darth Vader 16, War of the Bounty Hunters Bosch One Shot, and High Republic Adventures Monster of Temple Peak issue number 2. Vader had my head spinning. Bosch doesn't seem like a bad dude. And Jackson's ancestors could kind of make themselves invisible. Who knew? Also on the agenda tonight, Marvel Comics solicitations promises us a lot more Crimson Dawn via upcoming arcs of Crimson Reign and other titles. They pledge us High Republic answers about Skier and the Nihil's ancient weapon that's turned against the Jedi. Tonight we're giving opinions on dust jackets for upcoming High Republic novels. I give probably the worst Star Wars book report you've ever heard. And we speculate on some Kenobi casting. Yeah, it's been that kind of Star Wars week. But let's get it going, fellas.
A little slow.
Who's slow?
The week.
Awesome.
News week.
Well, I have to disagree with that. I believe there's always tons of Star Wars news on there. It's kind of some exciting stuff. We got enough to put a couple hours together to show. Let's say hi to everybody first, and then we're going to have Jedi go around the room. Chad was actually the first one. What's up? Then Dusty Baker says he was the first one in. Kev, good to see you. I hope the move goes well, and you can get those books from your mom's place. For everybody that doesn't know, follow him on IG, Kev's Collectibles. Shannon, I hope your wife hits you for saying that. Never
For saying it or doing it?
Well, probably for both. Astro, what's going on? Ed, thank you for saying hi for the algorithm. We always love when you do that. Darth Lopez, good to see you. And hey, Chef, dude, if you aren't following Chef Harris on the IGs, do it. Unless you're on a diet. Don't do it if you're on a diet. But even if you're on a diet, because he cooks some healthy food, do it. But then don't do it, because then all the time you're just going to want to hire him as your personal chef. But what's going on, Chef? Jedi, could you take it around the room, please?
Okay. Football season is back, but in our galaxy, far, far away, it's professional Noonaball teams that our panelists love to follow. Like a character we all know, this team strikes first against all the odds, only to freeze up later. They'll break your heart, but he loves them anyway. They're the Carillion Criminals, and he's Macho Man Marco.
It's like the Lions, bro, dude. Seriously.
He's been a fan of the Alderaan Acklay since his childhood, a solid team that unfortunately never won a championship, although they were the odds-on favorite to win it all back in 1 ABY. Such a shame. It's the guy behind the curtain, JJ Maxwell.
Hey.
We'll see if anybody gets that. Speaking of that failed championship opportunity by Alderaan, the Death Star Destroyers are this guy's favorite Noonaball team. Interesting fact, though, due to a design flaw in their stadium, they had to play all away games for several years while awaiting their new stadium. He proudly dons the team colors, gray and various other shades of gray. It's the visionary Pete Renovision. And they have stars on their uniform and on their roster, acclaimed as the Galaxy's team, but only by their fans. And what have they done lately? Not much. They're the Naboo Nerf Herders, and the fan is me, Jedi Johnson 22.
Good stuff. What is going on, Thomas, and what is going on, Mojo? All right, good stuff again. Jedi, I don't know how you do it every week, but you do a great job. So this week, we got a couple things to start off. We're going to do, obviously, we're going back to, because we have no guests. We decided we had just so many guests last week that we should shorten it down. We have no guests this week. We're going to do comic review, talk about some of the good stuff that was in there, give you some stuff that's not good. And then after that, we're going to have a kind of a new segment, because Jedi talked me into it, where we're going to, like he said, review dust jacket covers and give our opinion on art, because art's subjective, but our opinions are absolute. So, but before we do that, because they were asking right as I hit the start button, apparently 2 people down there have stuff they want to show off. So who wants to go first, Pete or JJ?
Oh, we do? I was just asking if we were. I only got one thing. I was just
I'll show real quick.
Yeah, go, because I only got one thing too.
I guess so. Astro, if he's still around,
nice.
he hasn't left yet.
Yeah.
But mentioned this in last week's chat. I figured I'd show it off if I can get the glare off it. This is the Star Wars 205, Star Wars Insider 205 subscription variant.
Nice to see what mine will look like next month. When
I about to say Jedi should get it in about 3 weeks or so. And I did get a couple later printings. So I got one of these guys earlier this week.
Nice.
Well, Obi-Wan Anakin. I always like is it Chiquette? I never know how to say the guy's name, but Chiquetto. Marco Chiquetto cover.
Do you like that story?
No, the story was terrible, but the art's good.
That's the one that's like steampunk. Is that the steampunk one? No, that was the other.
No,
it was that was the Dark Horse one. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the story's still not that great in that one.
No,
it's not terrible. I shouldn't say terrible. And then we got third printing, Star Wars 6. So, which I think is where I can never remember if it's 6 or 7 where you learn Santa Staros's real identity. And then this one was kind of an interesting one. I put in a cheap bid on eBay and nobody else bid on it, so I ended up getting it. I love that. So Star Wars Jango Fett, but newsstand version. Ooh. You don't see that very often with the little wrong side. Sorry,
that's still the wrong side. There you go.
Yeah. Got a newsstand version of that. So that was nice. That's it.
Oh, the TPB. That's what you're saying.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Put it on the front. It's kind of weird
because they don't know that. Yeah. The Wexley one though was the same way, wasn't? No. What's there's Wexley.
Yeah, the Weskel, Sam said
Wessel. No, yeah, the person that changes, and then what the other one was?
Yeah, that's Zem, or
Wessel, which was the one, which was
they put like 10 of them. I don't know how many actually have newsstands.
There's the one that has, but that's on the back of the Wessel one.
There's one with Yoda and
the other Django ones on the front. Django open season. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sweet. All right, cool. Well, that's that. That's cool. I don't know why we're reminiscing. Maybe people were looking for it. Those TPPs are good. Watch out though. Keep those in good shape because the glue really sucks on those TPs.
Yeah.
So you know, those Dark Horse.
I just finally got this in. That's all I got this week. They finally shipped me this one. Nice. I don't know why they didn't have it initially, but yeah. So I finally got this guy in. Yeah, with the little.
I need to go in and check out because I should have had that by now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because they sent me the 2. Like I ordered all 4 together. I don't think I actually got Jax yet. Like I'm still waiting on my Jax from.
I wish they would do more like that with the cover art kind of.
If you're gonna charge like $28.99, that would be nice. I would agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, Jedi, we'll talk about it in the reviews. But what did you say about Jax's relatives?
Oh yeah, then the comics, it was a joke. Don't overthink it. the rabbit looking guy in
the mouse guy, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start talking about some of it. So I actually started off with the book I like the best because we've gotten some comments maybe lately about how apparently some people think that our opinions really matter on what we say, and then they get all worked up because they're like, you bash stuff when we're just giving your opinions that some of the stuff out there just isn't good. So I decided to start off this one with the book that I like the best so that we can start off on a positive note, and I figured maybe that will...
Unless you're gonna bash it, and it just happens to be the one you like best. But
no. I set it. Usually, I set it up so the first book's the one I like the least, and then it like progressively moves. But I guess that's too complicated for people to figure out. So, all right. So we got Boosh. Are we pronouncing it Boosh or Bosch, or what are we pronouncing this?
I say Boosh. I don't really
I say Bosch, but that's just because I finished watching Bosch on Prime. So.
All right. Well, Bushibasha. I also actually gave the little index, the front page that I typically don't do. It's just because I think tag is important, and I want to actually highlight Alyssa Wong. I hope that she does more books is all I'm going to say about that, because I actually like this, but I'm a one shot. You guys know me. I love minis and one shots. So
you know you're not sharing it yet, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, because I was just making sure that when you started talking about the page and interior, it's like, well, we can't see it yet.
Oh, well, that's sweet. So we're going to start off with that, where we.
The good news is we agree with everything you said so far.
Good job. Did a great job on that. Okay, here we go. There it is right there. Take it over. I'm going to get a third screen at one point. All right, let's go back to this. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show the first page. I typically don't do this once again, but I want you to know Wong, I think, is a great writer if this is what she's good at. I do like one-shots, and I do like minis, though, so it's no big surprise that I like this book. And the color was good, too. It was great. Either way, starts off with a stolen vehicle. The vehicle happens to be stolen from the Black Sun. And then apparently Bosch has got a bunch of, or Bush has got a bunch of like other Bushes. And I thought it was kind of cool, like the whole Power Ranger version of them, and people who stole the car, obviously because they were.
Do they form a Megazord though? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't see that yet. We'll see later in the book.
Before we get into, so this is the first time, excluding the Leia in his outfit.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we're actually seeing the true
Bush. Yeah.
Bush.
The amazing Bush.
And,
not only first time, like we're hearing, they give everything here. So
including novels and everything. This is it.
Yeah, you get the first appearance collection, collection of the species, collection of the history, collection of the biography, collection of the cameo, collection of everything, collection of first cover appearance, all here, and collection of his relatives and Tans, Brini, yes. Eric. We didn't get all their blacks. Well, we did. We got most of their black stories too at a table. So it's all of it. Yes, it is. Good call, Jedi. Okay, moving on. Bush next. We get of course this is what they've been doing. I hope in the next Crimson series they just give us what we want, and they give us a Lone Pop one shot, and they give us a Death Sticks one shot, so we can stop just randomly have them show up and have like 15 words and then leave.
Yeah, one liner and I'm out.
Since she was there, she does the, hey, I thought you guys, don't work for the Black Sun anymore. Obviously they do. They said the highest bidder. Then they do this little table talk where they kind of hint at like, it's been a while. His kid passed away. And they kind of go into like that they all got dropped off someplace and he assembled this squad. They go in to talk. Eventually they go in. They did a whole background with him too. Like what they did, like, so his family got killed. They hinted at it, and then he decided to burn the whole village down. And on his planet, if you commit a crime, they erase your name, right, from the record.
Pookie, let's burn it down.
Yeah,
okay.
And then they get rid of you. So
I'm glad you're clarifying this, because when I first read through this the first time, I thought that someone had came in and destroyed his village, and he was wrongly accused of doing it. But you're saying it was an act of revenge.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he committed a crime.
Because he was the one that committed the crime, I think. That's the way I read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He pulled an Anakin. We call that an Anakin.
Yeah. No, he definitely Anakin'd it out. He went back and Anakin'd it out. So he did that. He kind of was going over the story, because that's where you get like on the table talk, he talks about his dead son, and then you see afterwards he actually has like long silver hair because he doesn't have these outfits are part of their banishment. Either way, they decide to go in and they decide to talk to the Crimson Dawn because they have a job for them. And their job is to go after Dominique Tag, which we all know, like this is a big, big family. Like it's like the aristocrat criminals, the ones that run the whole thing, but are criminals, but they also own all the laws and they produce all the governments with stuff. So whatever. I actually kind of like this. And I think there's going to be a come to head between them and the Crimson Dawn at one point, which might be interesting. So they put a hit out on the whole family, pretty much the entire executive board. Then you see our friend Tag here. She's up now. She's the leader of the whole group, right? She's the most powerful member of the family. She's the one who puts Dr. Afra, like she's the one that has her and Sanas doing their stuff in the Afra book, and pretty much controls a lot of the stuff that's going on. So we've seen her before. But she's now got this Vero Blade thing, which I thought was a pretty cool weapon. It turns out it's not as cool as you think. Then they break down the rest of the family just in case. Well, some of the family, they don't break down like her brother and the rest of those people. But
yeah, that's a weird design choice for that page.
What's that?
That's a weird design choice for that page because it looks like those are screens at a table, like in Demolition Man, like they're not actually there.
But I like it because it gives you like the names.
It
gives you their names and their jobs, and then it gives you what they're saying. I don't know. I thought it was cool, but whatever.
I thought it was like screens of themselves sitting.
Yeah, but then I'm like
behind them, but they're sitting in front of them. I'm like, wait. Then I realized that's not what it was.
I was like, oh no, it's just so we can get close-ups. I mean, I got it. It just took me a second to process it of what I was.
So I think we're so used to like not reading one shots that we read these extended books that have like 15 panels and 2 words per panel and no faces drawn on them. That maybe that's why I like this book better, is because just like they did with explaining his family, it was all in one page in 6 panels. You got the whole backstory, and here with them, you understand what everybody's position is going forward in the storyline and what they did and who they are. But I mean, that's what that page was. Either way. So they get locked in because obviously Bush and the crew is coming through and gonna shoot them all down, and they killed the security guards. It caused them to be locked into the boardroom. She uses the Vero Blade to make a big enough hole for only her to scoot by. By the way, if you've been reading Aphra early on or any of the other books that she's in, you know that she's a badass. So this isn't going to go well. They get to the door and they open it. And then one of the members of the family decides to, the Skullet decides to run out. And he's an idiot. He's actually he was the guy that was in charge of like inventing and stuff like that. And he tells them that actually he hired
mutton chops.
Yeah, no, that's actually his hair. He's got a skullet. He's got like a skullet type thing.
But I mean, it comes down.
Yeah, but it's like
on the sides.
It's like all baldy business up top, and then all party past the neck.
It's like if like Chester A. Arthur was in a rock band or something.
Well, I don't think that's actually facial hair. Maybe it is. Who knows?
Weird to
there's
comb
like
your hair
Wolverine style mutton chops going on. But
when they showed all those cats sitting around the table, you just kind of looked at that guy and you're like, yeah, that's the.
Yeah, see, in the table picture, it's kind of behind the ear. I think it's just like a draw flaw. I think he's just like here too. I don't think that's his mutton chops being combed out, but maybe it is. I don't know. He's an alien species. Whatever floats your boat. Anyways, so she finds out that he backstabs him, but she catches Bosch and his whole crew and then just kills the dude. And when they're like, oh man, that's cold-hearted. You killed your own family member. She's like, yeah. And they're like, well, what happens when everybody finds out? She goes, well, I'm just going to tell them you did it. So what's the difference? She's got that type of skills.
Clever.
Put up a double picture there. Anyways, once again, a little cool posting here. I thought the picture on the top was pretty cool. Are you going to kill us?
The Power Ranger picture?
Yeah, the Power Rangers. We get all the colors. Anyways, they ask if they're going to kill him. She says, no, I got a proposal. Obviously, she wants to, their home planet is UB4. So she's
40.
saying that or 3? No,
UB40.
4D, yes. Okay.
No, red wine. Just keep moving.
I thought he was
Now I'm
making
lost.
a joke, but then I wasn't quite sure either. But yeah, it's a joke.
It's UB4, once again, I think is the name of the planet. Either way, thanks, Pete. There you go. So she tells him
try to keep you on your toes while you're going. So you don't get too bored just reciting the whole recap. We mix it up. We break it up.
Excellent. Good job. Jokes are funny when they're funny. So there you go. They said, do we have a deal? Yes. Tell me all about the Crimson Dawn. So it looks like they're going to be piecemealing into some of the books, including Dr. Aphra, which is fine. I mean, we kind of figured that already. If they're going to use tags, she's got the link to Dr. Aphra. And the Aphra book has started to take a turn for the good in the last 2. So this isn't an element that I think is going to be so bad. She does. Mm-hmm.
So so far, at least to me, he's seeming like he's not such a bad guy.
Mm-mm.
So I'm starting to think, I'm thinking maybe Leia didn't kill him. Maybe Leia just explains the situation and he's like, oh, here, just take my uniform.
Do we know that it's definitely his? Because now there's like 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 of them.
Yeah, but it's color. She used the Orange Ranger's suit, not the Blue Ranger or the Green Ranger.
But he's green, right?
No, he's blue. He's orange. He's
orange. Oh,
but we're all assuming that he had to die in order for her to get that, but that's not necessarily the case.
Well, no, not the color of the.
Time out. He could have. Theory is he could have done something that they asked the tag, and they sent him back to his planet. And if he goes back to his planet, he doesn't need this because this is your. They did say at the beginning, this is what the suit you have to don when you're excommunicated. So
then it could be anybody's suit in theory, right? If they're all the same. I mean, surely they have more than one orange visor.
Nope, I don't think so. I think this is Star Wars.
What do they do when they run out of colors? They start offing people.
What's he gonna wear when he has laundry day? He's got to have more than one outfit, right?
Did you guys read the book? So what happens is usually they eject you into a not so nice area, and then they pretty much want you to die, and they're trying to extinguish you.
Right. They did what's it called on Beyond Thunderdome?
Yeah.
They put him on the horse.
They put him on the horse and they send him out to yes. So there's not so many of these guys that live in the desert with the helmet, the paper mache helmet on. Okay, that's just they die. So
Ed's right. We're overthinking it. It's Star Wars.
Well, yeah, it is Star Wars once again. Star Wars. So it's Star Wars. I tried to say that, but I couldn't get it out. All right.
Now I do have one question on this book. As we go along, like with the Tag family or Tog or however you would say it, family getting involved, you brought up an interesting point. Do you think this is going to involve, at least as the Crimson Reign thing comes into like a Star Wars mafia war? I mean, that's kind of what it's seeming like.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at how the Crimson Dawn is kind of set up, that they were behind the shed.
You got a lot of like mafia style families in Star Wars. You got the Graff family, the Tag family. The Graffs are kind of out of it at this point, but I mean, there's those other criminal family, the Hutts, all the syndicates and
but okay, so the Hutts, so the main, so everybody pretty much falls under a line at one point or another. You're either under the tags if you have legitimate business and dirty business, like legit business that makes up most of your stuff. It's just shady how you take it over. That's the tags. Like, oh, by the way, we want to negotiate garbage pickup, right? That's what they're doing. Negotiating garbage pickup.
you got to have a legitimate business for your mafia.
We're gonna win the contract
like Radio
by killing
Shack.
somebody, and they're writing their checks out. Hey, you work for the garbage company. You work the garbage, but it's like a legitimate business.
They're like the union boss.
Yeah.
They're like the Sopranos, where they're just sitting in their lawn chairs. They're just sitting in their lawn chairs in front of the disposal unit.
The no-show.
We work here.
Next thing you know, Domino gets whacked.
I mean that's what it is, right? I mean that's what that is. And then when you got the Crimson Tide, they're kind of like the guys they're like
Crimson
Dawn.
Roll Tide.
All I know is if we get like a take the blaster, leave the cannolis line in Star Wars, it'll be all set.
Did you see in the Hutts? They got the one guy. What's his name? Don Vito and what? Marlowe. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they're still rolling out that stereotype. But with that being said, so then you got the Crimson Dawn, who's kind of like the shadow, the Black Hand. That's what they are. That's what they're supposed to be interpreted. Then you have the Hutt Cartel, who is like the flat out like old school mafia. And then you've got who the heck else do you have?
Think so? When I hear cartel, I started thinking of like spice trade.
The Hutts, the Pikes,
Mm-hmm.
All the pirate groups. Not that I don't know, but I mean,
pirate
there's
groups
like a billion of those. I feel
people, like yeah. So there you go. What's going on, Sean? So that's it. That's the breakdown. But yeah, it was a good book. I thought. I don't know what you guys thought about it. Boosh was good. I wish they were going to do 2, but they didn't. Unfortunately, they did 2 of this and didn't put it on the TPB. A lot of people were saying that it's not like this is a bad book, right? But like, I think I kind of would like to read it all at once. You can tell that's separated, and the pacing kind of starts and stops in this.
Oh, book. for this one,
for the Monster of Temple.
Yeah, I didn't read this one yet because I just picked this up today.
Well, it's good to see. I'm glad to see that Star Wars has gone back to letting children die. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. No, that's
good on them.
Yeah, that's a valid point. So it starts off.
It's not Bad Batch anymore, so there's real stakes involved with people dying.
If you forgot, there was at the end, Ty was going to help somebody who's stuck in pretty much a big alien spider trap.
What color saber would you say that is? Like a pink?
Purple.
I
think it's purple.
Purple ink. Purple ink.
Like maces, though.
It's kind of cool though, because like she could pretty much stab somebody with just the hilt. Like it's got like these 3 spikes on it where she could just like that stab
without being turned on.
It looks a lot like Revan's kind of had that, didn't it? Where it was a little bit, the hilt was kind of spiked
on the north end, yeah. But it was not fully surrounded like this one. She gets shot by this thing, and it goes inside her ears, and so she can't breathe. And so she has a flashback of being trained and how you're supposed to be able to talk to animals or feel them, whatever, the force. Anyways, sound gets it out. It's venom somehow. So if you use a high-pitched voice, the webbing gets out, just disintegrates. So she did that.
Not too excited.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was weird. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But I mean, like I said, it had to start gaining the pace back because you pause the book in a weird place. So she finds out that inside the webbing is this hidden character that is not related to Jackson at all. They're not even the same species, but whatever. She catches it and finds out that the mouse type character is technically followed her on her ship and may have done this is confusing. It may have done a mind trick or was invisible. That wasn't exactly clear. I think it's just a mind trick. Either way, she lets the little rat type thing follow her around. The rat type thing explains how, it wants to be trained to be a Jedi. Jedis are the greatest things. She tells him, I'm not a Jedi. Blah, 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 blah. That goes back and forth a little bit. Yeah. she says, well, you're pretty much going to die out here. Well, her robot calls her and is like, don't let that thing die. Like, you can't do that. That's kind of shitty. So she's like, all right, cool. Well, you could sleep with me. He tells the backstory how during the Great Disaster, like slaver ships were crashing out of hyperspace too, which let a lot of the slaves out because his whole population, his whole planet was taken to slavery. And his brother threw him into escape pod, and that's why he wants to be a hero. I was almost in tears. But then it got to some of the parts that I really like. They got back to the Callus character, which is like the guy we know somehow gets into some dark thing, which they start to show. And this is where I hate the pausing of it, because I'd like to find out, it was only like 3 or 4 pages, but in the trade paperback, it'd be towards like the beginning of each chapter. So like, it'd be awesome because when you finish the chapter, you get into the next one. So it'd make you want to read through the trade paperback. Now,
just to be clear for those watching at home that didn't know, but this was originally solicited as like an 84-page one-shot trade, and so IDW decided to actually divide it into 4 issues. So just to make clear for anybody who didn't know that.
Which I get. I mean, that was the biggest complaint, and maybe we're all complaining about it because the people I had heard complain about it too said that there was. Maybe it's because we all knew that. I don't know.
I think anytime you do that, it messes.
It's never
of whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, he wrote it to be paced out differently. So this is kind of cool how he's doing the stand thing, and he talks about these witch type Jedi characters, or maybe sorcerers, right? Sorcerer Jedis, which is weird because sometimes people refer to the Jedis as sorcerers, but this is actually a Padawan, huh? No, what?
Oh, this is green, yeah.
Space wizards.
Space wizards. Yeah, this is now a space wizard referring to force-powered sorcery. So, like, this is kind of cool. And not like the Night Sisters, but something else. So they get to one of these temples. He cuts through it. They do a little bit of the Temple of Doom thing there, back and forth. You can tell she helps him out a little bit. But then they say whatever the DARPA sphere is. I have a feeling we're going to get a new species of something cool. A combination between probably Jedi and the Night Sisters, which will be fun to see. But she gets woken up out of her dream because her pack animal decides to just take off. So she gets up, and then the little kid from the first book that had the gap teeth, for some reason, decides to try to attack her with a broken down piece of wood, which she just grabs and then flicks it away. I don't understand why this kid's attacking her at all, by the way. Once again, would be probably better if it was in trade paperback form because we could have figured it out, maybe. But so she tries to shoot Ty, and Ty blocks it. And then, as Jedi brought up, Ty inadvertently kills the kid. Oh, she tries to hold on to her for a little bit too, and then has a flashback and whatever. But yeah, she killed the kid. So the kid dies. Enough said. And when
they had to justify the kid dying because swinging a piece of driftwood at the Jedi, so the kid deserved it.
Well, no, the kid then did take a shot with a blaster. For some reason, it hasn't been explained why the kid's taking a shot with a blaster, but she did. And when Ty deflected the blaster shot, you can see up in the left corner, the blaster shot hit by the girl, which startled the girl, which made her slide through a hole, which started to throw her down this enormously large cliff. Ty tried to hold on to her. She had a flashback of Callus and then died. Okay, fair enough. Next up, they wake back up the next morning, and she says, hey, little rabbit rat thing that is not related to Jackson, feel free to follow me. And then they just abruptly stop the story. So we'll see where that heads. I don't know. I don't know what we should do. I wonder if we should just stop reviewing it and do it as a trade paperback. Leave us a comment below. Maybe we'll keep going.
Well, we never know when the trade's going to come out.
I know, but I'll still pick up all the Lucy's.
4? There's only 4 issues. That's what I mean. At this point, you're really just
plot committed at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. I was trying to get some comments and some talk.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
All right,
we're probably gonna have to recap the first few issues anyway. Who's gonna remember by that time we get
this? Actually, isn't the Vader cover, but this is what the solicitation for the Vader cover is. And I was too lazy to get the new one where it has him swinging over Luke. Either way, it's Star Wars. Either way, here we go. Darth Vader, Darth Vader, Darth Vader. I cut out a lot of the pages because they were in the other storylines, so I didn't get into that whole thing. Just started it.
Dupe pages.
Yeah, the dupe pages. Just started it when the imps are actually removing Han Solo and taking him onto the Imperial shuttle. At the same time, Vader's already in the cockpit, and that's where I started. We have Umbre. She is now. It is a she, right? She's a she, right? She's not a.
Yes.
She is a she. Okay, good.
Yes.
I mean, you don't know. You never know.
I mean, there are males of the same species, but that particular one is a she.
Yeah. How do you tell the difference, though? Like they're all
because they
bald and
refer to
white.
her as her or something.
Her. Okay.
In the
Are
other
you
books,
sure?
yeah. I'm fairly
All
certain.
right. I see. I was
Male
wondering.
plane. How can you tell?
They look
Yeah.
the same. Either way, so
Maybe
she calls up Vader and says, "Hey, Vader, can you hear me?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't want anything to do with you. I know you're kind of a traitor or whatever." And she goes, "No, I was just trying to get your location." And then she sends all the robots after him, start trying to take apart his TIE fighter. At the same time, he had shot down Luke, or at least disabled him. And then these little robots come at Luke. He starts shooting at them. They kind of give him a warning shot so that he can't shoot anymore out of the air. He's like, "Listen here, guys, you better watch out or my lightsaber is going to get you." And they're like, "Hey, little boy, be quiet. We're fixing your ship. We're going to send you back up there in a minute so you can fight Darth Vader because we want him dead." And then we get once again, I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that Ocho, the assassin, the 8 assassin or whatever his name is, Ochio or whatever, is really sucks. Because he was a terrible, his sword was, or dagger was a terrible point in those crappy movies. So just to make him a crappy character in the comic books seems like true justice. She messes him up as usual because he's never won a fight in his. He's an assassin who literally can't assassinate anybody and has never won a fight in his life. So obviously, you know how this is going to go. There is some back and forth about some interesting stuff.
Maybe
She
he
says
just needs to learn. He just
that is true.
He's a Schofield kid. He's got to get his start somewhere.
I guess, but she even kind of brings up a point. He's like, "Oh, I'm all for the dark side and the Emperor," and you're not. And she's like, "Yeah, you don't even know what you're talking about, man. You're so far from it. You've got no clue." She messes around with it. She goes something like, "What do you think? The Emperor wants to claim Luke Skywalker, and you're on the wrong side of things. Because why would Darth Vader want Luke Skywalker for the Emperor? Because if the Emperor gets Luke Skywalker, he's more powerful than his dad. He'd take over Darth Vader's spot." Which is something that's been talked among fans for years. Why does it make sense if they actually want to take it to the end? And would the Emperor have killed Darth Vader? It's kind of cool. I thought that they put this into the comic books just because it's something, I don't know. I think every Star Wars fan has had this conversation before. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're at the last scene of Jedi, and Darth Vader eventually throws the Emperor into the hole. Yes? No?
Yeah.
You agree with this or no?
Is this before or after adding no?
It's pretty obvious once we figured out that he did the same thing to Dooku.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like a new, younger version? Sure. Chop his head off.
Absolutely. So there you go. That's canon now that the Emperor wants him. And then she stabs him right in there and goes "I could kill you, but I'm not going to." You see the assassin call up to see the ship that's going on there. Turns out that our man, 80,000 packs, Buku. And he's like, "Hey, Buku, what are you doing?" And Buku's like, "Why would I tell you?" So he goes to Darth Vader. And he goes, "I know Umbren is kicking your ass and she backstabbed us. Not a big surprise." He's like, No. The Hutts are coming after you too. Then they do this back and forth about, "Oh, Luke, I am your father." Sweet, cool. And it's to be continued. So Vader, not a bad book. All right. Coming up next week, we've got, finally, it must be almost the time for Halloween because we've got Vader's Castle. The droid one that's coming out. Mm-hmm. Nice. Dawn of the Droids. Dawn of the Dead. Good cover. We also got Bounty Hunters. Solid. There's going to be the fight between Bobo. The last where we left them was Balance was about to shoot Bubba's head off, and now they're going up for the plane. So we'll see what happens there.
In there too. If you saw the preview.
Yeah, Bosk is in there too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. On FOC, we get some of the best. I think this is probably going to be the best cover out of all the Vader's castles. We do know who this character is, right? On the right.
Damien?
No, it's Anakin Skywalker. It's possessed Anakin Skywalker.
Same difference.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I think I'm pretty sure that's going to be possessed Anakin Skywalker from what I could. It says "Beware the Chosen One," right?
He's rocking that bowl cut.
True,
so.
Yeah. So I think that's what we're getting there. I think that's pretty badass. That's obviously the B cover. So that.
But are you sure? Because I can't see "yippee" coming out of that kid's mouth.
Well, all these are dream states in Vader's castle, so I would assume that it's Vader's inner thing, thinking that he's always possessed by.
What was it? Village of the Damned.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, JJ. I was trying to think of the name of it. Yeah.
So that's what we got there for the FOC for Vader's castle,
or Children of the Corn, maybe.
Children of the Corn. I was thinking. Apparently, they're going to do covers for all the War of the Bounty Hunter at the end, where they're going to do the red cover with a bounty hunter on it. I was so
I
excited.
don't like it.
And now,
So much emptiness. It's
It's
weird.
exactly too much dead space.
Like
they
I
also
get like if you want to do like a character cover, but make the character like the majority of the cover.
they'll do well. They know what they're doing.
Even if you textured the red in some way, it would be less.
It's so off center. His
Bland.
gun's even cut off.
Exactly.
Let's see how they come out when they actually do come out. Speaking of that, the A cover looks like it's got tons of great colors. I doubt that will stay. I bet you it's going to change. However, they're supposed to also have one more cover that's a black and white version of the A cover, which I also probably would assume is going to change. That's probably going to be the ratio.
That's
And
the
then-
50th one on the.
We do,
Right,
yeah,
right.
50th. The Sprouse is.
So
It's where
probably
they
gonna
put
have
the
gold
regular
border.
trade dress. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
And
gonna have
for-
the gold border one. And actually,
And for some
Which
reason,
one?
we have Rex like with Mace Windu as part of his crew instead of Mace Windu's actual crew. But whatever, man. What can you
that's
do?
an odd pose choice though for the A. I just got to say, Death Sticks looks like Fonzie doing that dance with the
It's
kicking
like a
the leg up.
Spider-Man pose.
I actually like the A cover. No, okay.
No, I just don't like that weird. The pose is odd to me.
Hmm.
It's an odd moment to capture in that fight.
Cool. Next up, we've got a little bit of an add-on section because of Jedi. He wanted us to do this, so we will. Art may be subjective. So there is a bounty hunter cover coming up. They released it. This is supposedly it. It almost
Nice.
looks like it's neon.
No, it's Wakanda forever.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like the colors is like the blue is like the granite shading or
Transdosha
whatever.
forever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's got a bunch of bounty hunters on it. I don't even know why they release these things because this is not what this cover is going to look like. They're going to change it around.
Who's that supposed to be with the shirtless one with the steel cod piece?
Oh,
it
what's
Ren?
it? No. That's the guy who.
Vega from Street Fighter? No.
No, he's the guy
He put
who
his mask down here instead. Which guy?
Oh, is it
It's the guy that's in the new movies when they go onto the
Um,
Han ship with Chewbacca when they're
Tosho Loke,
Tosho
or
Loke.
whatever?
Yeah, that's him. Mhm. Supposedly, I think.
young him?
Or maybe not. Who knows? Okay, so that's who I think we have there.
Is it like Tasu?
Yeah,
Tasu Leech.
Tasu
Leech.
Leech.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tasu
He
Leech.
said Toto Loki. I'm like,
Tone Loke. It's Tone Loke.
So I think that's
No,
what it's
it-
supposed to be.
Four
Honestly,
Loco. That
Johnny
weird drink
Cage.
is what I got stuck in my head.
I hope this is-
Good,
I
good
hope
nuts for
this
life.
is
Got it
exactly-
right with Johnny Cage.
I hope this is exactly how they leave this cover. That they don't change it. I might buy 5, but I have a feeling this is going to get changed. There's no way
If
this
Bosk
has-
is in this thing, then that's going to be a little strange that all his limbs have grown back. I think JJ brought this up once before. We're still waiting for Skier's arm to grow
Yeah,
back.
I don't get that. I don't know why his arm hasn't grown back yet.
Well,
I
maybe
don't know how long
Boss
it
is
takes.
juicing. Maybe you can speed up the process with a little help.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a certain point on the arm. I don't know.
Well, think about this. Bacca's everywhere by the time this book comes out, and back in the High Republic, they're just starting to farm it. It's a rare substance, so maybe
Okay,
Well,
I'll
but
push the I
that's-
believe on that one. Okay, No,
It's Star Wars.
or Star
Good.
Wars, or it's
No,
Star
that's
Wars,
a good.
Or Star Wars.
That's a
or
good.
Star Wars. It's Star
That's a
Wars.
good reason, though.
All right, so that's it. I mean, do you guys like this cover, or do you guys think this is trash? Because art's subjective.
I've seen
Yeah,
worse,
I'm not-
I dig
but
it.
I've seen a lot better. I don't think it's terrible.
I think it's good.
Again, I think if they did something with the background, maybe it would help the foreground play a little better. But
The poses
that
and stuff are
blank
kind of
background
like.
allows you to focus in on just.
I feel like the poses are kind of like boy band esque or something going on there. But
Dude, think about it. Think about if they make it.
Why
a
so
little
much space between their
Well,
heads and the title?
Think
Like,
about if they make it a little bit more translucent, like
Hold
almost
up.
even more 3D. Like it looks like stare at it like you would a ship, like one of those pictures that's got all the lines and you're supposed to find a ship. If you stare right at Boss, doesn't it look like he's actually moving out in front of them? I think it does. I mean,
oh,
I
you're got a magic eye effect.
Yeah, the
Well,
magic eye
well, Did
effect.
Liefeld draw this? Because why don't they have feet? You could give them feet, and they could reach the title, the trade dress at the top.
Okay,
I'm just saying, you could give them a little bit more height. It's weird
I
and
guess
strange.
maybe. Like I said, I don't think this is the final set. I think this is. I did expand it a little bit, so it's like usually the book ends here. I pulled it out a little bit so we could get a better look at it. Good. Well, at least one of us likes it.
Oh, so you're
Um,
telling me you Liefelded it up?
Yeah. I did a little bit of life felling to it.
You Chuck.
So either way, so that's art maybe subjective, obviously subjective, obviously. But our opinions, as you know, these are they released the covers for the dust jackets for the books. Obviously, we have a Gray book, which is going to be amazing because she always writes good stuff in The Fallen Star, which I hope
That
is
is-
fine. Go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, Gray's great. This is such a cookie cutter dust cover of this book. I feel like I've seen it 1,000 times in the books. There's only been like 6 books.
There are sure to be Walmart exclusives and Target exclusives.
Yeah, and there's going to be those sold out or out of print, whatever. Yeah. Yes, but here's the thing about it. Have you noticed who is on the cover? I guess is what we're saying here, because we have Ty. No, we have Ty, who we know already, kind of.
Who somehow has a yellow lightsaber. Is that her? I don't know if that's Ty.
You don't think it's Ty?
I don't know.
It looks like
it does look like Ty, but why is she in a yellow lightsaber?
They've got at least 2 people who for sure are like on the we're not down with the Jedi Order anymore. You have a guy who may be questionable. I'm wondering if we're finally going to get the
He's a Sith.
That's kind of what I was.
He's a Sith, and then you're gonna get one of the Lost.
Yeah, I thought that's what the Fallen Star. Are we going to finally get
best covers? Comac and
yeah. Looking good on the right.
On the right. Yeah.
Reese.
Right.
Reese.
Yeah. And actually, how Older did his last book. I'm excited to hear that one. I think I'm just going to let you guys read the Justine Ireland book. And
what? What's wrong with crystal crocodiles? You don't want to see the 4-eyed crystal crocodiles?
No, that's fine. But I bet you the crystal crocodile is going to be in a relationship with 15 other crystal crocodiles. And then think about how a crystal, I don't know, dragon looks really good. And
look how hot that dragon is.
Yeah.
Marco has to take a cold shower after reading those books.
And then they're going to wink at each other, but then not wink at each other. And then that's just the whole book. So you guys can read that one. Fair enough. Not my stuff. All right. What was it again? Oh, but our opinions are absolute. Good. Absolute. So they did give us some of the High Republic covers. We're going to get the new series Eye of the Storm.
Which sounds awesome.
It does. And
I like that cover too.
That he's not dead, even though some people were hinting that, they might actually kill off Ro and he won't be the head. But he still is going to be the head from what I think. I think he might be a little bit Sithish. He's got a lot of the Sithish stuff, like the spiky shoulder pads of the Dark Horse Sith. He's got the black flowing cape of Sith of years past. And a little helmet thing, so it looks pretty good. He looks very.
Did he grow out the hair though?
Yeah, they just got to fix his voice on the auto things. And then they're bringing back on 13. Chris is coming back, but she's looking way more tired and worried. I actually really like this. Maybe
I like that cover.
I like the cover. I like the cover. Looks like she's fighting the Nihil because she's deflecting.
I mean, she'll probably only be in the first page of the comic, and then it'll go off to some other teenager. But it's a good cover.
It looks like all the laser blasts are focused on one single point, though, which is kind of odd.
That's because the Jedi make it look easy. That's why.
And she's about to hit somebody in with an old version of a plug-in extension cord with the what is that? She's just pulling the ship apart and hitting them.
Yeah, that's the old Darth Vader.
The plug-in extension cord. What are you talking about? Now I see
the
it.
corner.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Like the weapon too. You got to drop the
plug
crate.
box or whatever. Yeah. And then we got Trials of Shao. We don't know much about it before was coming out for that, so hopefully that's good.
I still say that might tie into the show. I don't know. It seems the storylines seem eerily similar to Acolyte, like the synopsis of Acolyte. So far.
It looked like cool. So we're gonna get that out there. We know you agree. Very good. So our opinions are absolute. We know you agree. We've got
surprised on that middle cover.
I know, right? Those are the annuals. So they're going to do annuals as usual. They're going to be like $20 per book. No, they're $8 for a book, but still. And apparently it'll probably have short stories on all the female characters that they could get in there. They've got Alfie. They've got Dee. They've got
it's very Disney evil witch in the middle.
Maleficent.
Isn't that supposed to be
that is Lena So?
Lena So,
Chancellor, I believe.
The Chancellor. That's not
the two tiger cat things, or.
Yep. So we'll get a little bit backstory probably on all 3 of these people, which will be nice, I guess. And then they also have another cover for that where there's a Jedi, it looks like, who's a librarian with one eye and might also double as a pirate. So that should be fun. Right?
A one-eyed librarian?
I was going to ask, did Porter have one eye? You may remember. It's been so long since I read that book. I don't remember the description of him.
I don't remember there being.
But that's kind of the character he reminds me of. Is just like this old grizzly Jedi who's just hanging out at the headquarters.
Porter. Who's Porter?
Dude, that'd be awesome if it was Porter Hawk.
I don't know. This is I don't remember the description of Porter.
Yeah, no, I thought he
was. Yeah, Porter was under siege, right?
Yeah, he was skinnier and whatever else, and
he was the cook.
He was the cook. He was like Steven Seagal all of a sudden. Like, oh no, it's the cook.
Oh yeah.
However, he was in that. That could be him actually. He does miss an eye. That could be him, but they buffed him up.
I don't know. I can't remember this.
That's 100% hit. You're right, but you see him.
It might not be him. I don't know.
It is. The only time you ever see him though, he's got a very skinny face, and they also make him look almost bird-like because he's on the cover jacket for the first High Republic novel. But you are right. If you took his description, he also looks very much like this, and he's got cook forearms, right, Chef Harrison here. He's got. He must be a baker or something.
Chopping forearm.
He got those big forearms. He's been baking.
That's right.
Which is cool. So hopefully
you don't chop like this. It's more of a press.
Hopefully that's him because that'd be cool.
I think it would be too. I would not mind paying $8 to hear more stories about him.
Because it's like Solo Wookiee kind of man a little bit.
The beard, yes.
Yeah, beard.
He's got a white beard, so he looks like Solo Wookiee. When did Solo Wookiee lose an eye? I mean,
I can't even see that. It's
next time he's on, we're gonna make him wear an eye patch and wear a dress.
I mean, does he have hair? Oh, this guy has hair. I can see it.
Yeah,
he does have
hair.
hair.
It's hard to see. Okay.
You guys are gonna jinx him. He's gonna somehow come back from his trip and be like, "Oh, something happened."
Sorry.
He doesn't have an eye anymore. Yeah, Solo Wookiee's on a trip, guys. That's
sorry,
Be like Steve the pirate from Dodgeball, or she's like, put it on either eye.
No eye. Well, and not nothing, but Solo's like a little bit taller and lengthier. He doesn't have Baker forearms, so. But yeah, besides that, he's got a white beard, so him and Solo look exactly alike. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to read another manga or whatever coming up.
Manga.
That is the Padawan on the front. Whose name I already forget, but
good stuff. All right. Or you are a Star Wars fan. Let's go through this again. This was a funny joke that maybe not funny. Art may be subjective, but our opinions are absolute. We know you agree, or you're not a Star Wars fan. Okay, very good. They did give us two sketch concept arts of characters that were in books that we've just currently read. There's Kara. Anybody want to try to say XOO?
I can't see it. It's too tiny.
Okay, the name is Kara XOO. So is it like Zo?
XOO?
Has she been in? She was in books, so I haven't listened to it. Yeah, she's the Tempest. She's the Tempest runner that takes over for Pan. So it's Laura Dune, this Kara character. It's the it's the character that was on the planet where they had the Malkai, and then they had the squid characters. She's the squid character. Not Krakens, Karens or whatever.
Mon Calamari?
Yeah, not the Malkai, the other ones.
Oh.
You know the bad guys, the squid head people?
Davy Jones?
Oh, I know what you're talking
about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
The mean ones. They're always trying to fight him. Yeah. She's one of those races, and she actually takes over Pan. She's probably in a novel like 2 novels ago. Nobody else remembers her. Okay, fair enough. Well, good. And then we've got Zadina the Mac or whatever. Either way, she's one of the Tempest runners. The little short guy that's in the mech costumes, the other Tempest runner, and the third one is Laura D at this point in the storyline. So she's one of them. So it's gonna be cool because we're gonna get to see her. And then we've got a doctor who is also part like cyborg. Cool.
Like Valance?
Yeah, just like Valance. Yes. I don't know why the Nil need a cyborg doctor. Maybe because they killed the little Wolfan or whatever.
They're big fans of New Mutants 87.
You fight the Jedi, you're gonna need a lot of cybernetic limbs.
Yeah, you're gonna be losing stuff.
Well, they lost their other doctor who was like the little bat thing. You know?
Yeah. Was he their doctor though, or I thought he just took care of Santeca?
I don't know. Right. Corin. That's it. Thank you, Kev. Corin. Thank you. Who else said this? Yeah, Corin. Dreadnoks for life.
Seeing this just reminds me that I forgot to order that.
Hey.
I was going to say, are these guys?
I did forget to order it as well. Yes, I did also.
Need more pouches. Nice. All right, there we go. So, yeah. Second time removed. Very good. So those are that. That is it, and that's what we got this week. And I guess we reviewed that because Jedi thought it was cool, and it wasn't that bad, except for that nobody knew what I was talking about. So that's good. All right, excellent.
I figured it out eventually with the squid head guy. Yeah, I just can't think of the name of the race.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what we got for the first part. We actually have a second part coming up. Jedi, are you ready?
I guess.
Are you ready for your Star Wars week?
Okay. Yeah, so this is a new segment. It's probably the only time you ever see it. Called My Star Wars Week. So yeah, so my Star Wars week consists mainly of me. I hear music. Is that
That was my phone. Sorry,
That was your intro.
Forgot to mute it.
I thought it was supposed to accompany my my
It is.
narrative, my dialogue.
It's your theme music.
That was awesome. All right. So yeah, hey man, I've been kind of ever since JJ opened those packs. Thanks a lot, JJ. I've been kind of monitoring these cards on eBay too, man. These cards are doing really well. Especially for the refractors that are like 25 and less. These things are doing really well. Obviously, the sketches are doing really well. So I've been monitoring that since this is Star Wars week. We'll get to the book report here in a minute. They're doing so well that I haven't even been able to buy any because I'm like, nah, just went outside
I'm out.
went above my price range. Sorry, but yeah, so they're doing really well.
Thanks, JJ. Thanks you for wasting money on the show. I appreciate it. Good job.
Okay, so then I gave up on the other. I didn't give up. I'm still listening to the Thrawn, but I had to take a break from it. So I decided to listen to Ahsoka. This is a kind of a book report on the Ahsoka novel by E.K. Johnston.
What year did this come out? In 2000?
Yeah,
17, I think, or 18, 17 or 18.
I'm behind the curve.
No, it's all right. No, we're good.
So yeah, the novel picks up shortly after Clone Wars finale, and basically a lightsaberless Ahsoka is hiding after staging her death on that planet or moon, whatever. I think it was a moon. So currently, as the story picks up, she's residing on this planet of Thebesca, working as a ship mechanic for the Farty clan. The Farties, they kind of have
Farties.
Farkies.
No, is that what Shannon said he did earlier?
Farties.
The Farties, yeah.
Farty.
So yeah, man, these Farties, they got like a shipping company.
What's that Shannon's plan then?
They kind of do some weird stuff on the side. Not weird, but they kind of have a mysterious side business that Ahsoka kind of takes note of, but she doesn't really, get involved with that. She's just a mechanic, kind of hiding from the Empire, trying to lay low. Hey, this Farty family includes about a couple of kids. Yeah, I'm going to giggle every time I say that. You're going to giggle every time I say Farty?
Yes.
Right. So the Farty family includes several children, the youngest of which we kind of find out throughout the novel that she's kind of force sensitive. So Ahsoka kind of obviously feels a connection there. Next slide. So the Empire, as they kind of pay no attention to that map really, except for a quick glance, because I just took it off of Google. Those red lines mean nothing. So as the Empire kind of expands through the galaxy, they finally reach the Beskha, and Ahsoka assumes they're there for her. So she takes off running. And by the way, do not reference this book report on anything.
Is that what the F is?
Because
you give yourself an F on your own book report?
This is an F. Do not use me as a reference for anything because I don't even remember half the book. So she goes to this Ra'ada moon or something, and she starts working on it's like a farming moon. So she starts working on the farm equipment there, and she befriends several local youths, hanging out, playing that silly game.
She does get to know the youths in this book a lot. I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, I get to know these kids and these kids.
She's just hanging out, being a teenager. She was robbed of that, I guess. But anyway, so the Empire finally arrives there too, and they start forcing the local populace to grow this crop, and they're ruining the soil. They're working the local people to death. The crop that they're growing is some tasteless, I don't know, soy, whatever, that is supposedly good food for people that are working in a low gravity atmosphere. So immediately you think, this is for the people working on the Death Star or something, maybe. I don't know.
Star Wars tofu.
Yeah, Star Wars tofu. No taste, So they're working these people to exhaustion, and so there's like a little rebellion that starts forming, and some stuff happens. We won't get into it. Read the book. Next slide.
What's a ute? Sorry.
So Ahsoka runs again, right?
Yeah.
Ahsoka takes off again. She goes back to Tabasco because she kind of feels bad for leaving that little Force-sensitive kid there to begin with. So she goes back there where, she kind of returns the ship that she borrowed before, and they welcome her back because the Farties are good people.
Wait, is that a typo, or is there a Farties and Farties?
I don't know.
It's a typo.
I don't know. It's a typo.
But maybe he changed it mid slide, so we wouldn't make fun of it anymore.
We're doing another one of these, right? Guaranteed. This is a great segment.
So she goes back, and this time they're like, "Hey, come on back. You're a good mechanic. We'll welcome you back." But she's a good pilot too, right? So she starts flying some of these shipments. And while she's doing this, she kind of realizes that side gig they got going is not really like criminal stuff. They're kind of helping people, she thinks. And one day she's doing one of these things, and she hears like an SOS beacon or whatever. So she goes and she helps. And so she said, "Hey, I feel good. I feel like a Jedi again, kind of. So I'm like doing good stuff." So she starts doing more and more of these. And then she catches the attention of Bail Organa, who's in the very early stages of setting up the rebellion against the Empire. And he's there. You can see him there taking advice, from C-3PO, who's telling him what's up. Next slide.
I'm just saying, you got to watch out for Bail. He can be a creeper.
Mm-hmm. There he is, creepy.
That's kind of creepy.
So with Bail's help and R2-D2, Ahsoka goes back to Ra'ada, whatever it is, that moon where they're growing the Empire soy milk, and they want to rescue the people from there. They're pretty much going to have to evacuate the people from there and take them somewhere because the Empire's really ruined the moon for them. During which,
so the crops that they're producing dries up. This has happened throughout a lot of stuff. It dries up all the soil and destroys the planet. That's why they're
they're just using up the reresources and moving on like the Empire does.
Mm-hmm.
So during all this, though, to kind of go back a little bit, there is an Inquisitor that kind of he's out kind of throwing out some like nets, monitoring, looking for Force sensitive stuff, little clues of Force sensitive,
number 6,
maybe a Jedi here or whatever. And so he's there. He realizes that there is probably what he believes is a Jedi or very Force strong person that's been there, maybe. And so he kind of sets a trap using those local youth that those teenagers, those teenagers that Ahsoka befriended. So he kind of sets a trap, and so Ahsoka has to go back there, ends up killing that guy and the Inquisitor dude. And she takes
number 6.
She takes his cyber crystals, makes her 2 new lightsabers because out of a bag of junk she's been collecting throughout the novel, and makes her a new lightsabers that are now burning white. And the novel ends with Ahsoka joining the rebellion as Fulcrum and gaining the attention of the Grand Inquisitor. So from here,
that was the first time we heard about purifying, the switchback for purifying, like in canon. We heard the switchback for purifying.
That's the first time that they've purified a blood, they say, bleeding the crystal or whatever.
Yeah, that's what's white. And it's the 6th. We keep yelling 6 because it was the 6th brother. That was who the Inquisitor she killed was. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's basically, like I said, really quick down and dirty what happened. Read it if you want all the details. It was really good. It's only like 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours, just under 5 hours reading time. So next slide. This is kind of what I was thinking throughout as I was reading it, and then afterwards, what was in my head. So at the end of Clone Wars, Ahsoka leaves one, at least that's all they show us, one of her 2 lightsabers at the grave of Jesse. The novel, when it does a little think flashback, talks about Ahsoka leaving both her lightsabers at the fake grave of Rex at the same site. So either that's a little bit of a retcon, or they just didn't show certain things during
the way around.
The Clone Wars.
Clone Wars came out after the novel.
Yeah, this is where the Ahsoka versus Ahsoka part is. He's comparing the Ahsoka the novel to the thing that came out later, the television show. And by the way,
season 7.
Who was this again? Johnson? Is that who did this?
Johnson, E.K. Johnson.
Yeah, E.K. Johnson. She was specifically told to not she could. The one thing they would not let her do was Siege of Mandalore. She could not touch that portion of it all. And they wouldn't give her an outline of what they thought because they already knew they were going to do something later on. They wouldn't give her a thought process of anything if there's ever going to be Clone Wars to come back. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to set everybody's
No, there was
mindset.
that, and then next slide. Some of the stuff I thought about as I went through it. Yeah, I was expecting. I don't know if it's because of I heard some people talking, maybe it was someone on the show, and I just misunderstood, or maybe it was something that got edited later. I thought that there was going to be some mention of the Martez sisters in the novel, but there wasn't.
So
No mention.
Weren't there like boys or something?
yeah, it's a boy. So originally
Yeah.
They weren't the Martez though.
One of the youths.
No, one of the Utes.
One of the
So
Utes.
it's a combination. The Martez sisters is a combination of some of the Utes. If you're on the East Coast,
Utes.
and yeah,
No, I've just watched my cousin Vinny.
And now I'm gonna mess it up. The animatronic version, there was a episode that was
Autoerotic.
okay, of a Clone War episode that never happened, and there was a boy Asian character that portion of it had. So it was a combination of the two, and they then came out and made the Martez sisters for the show. So that's where it was. It was just like a combination of two groups, one from the books and one from the never seen before. Well, the mock-ups.
Animatics.
The animatics. Yeah, there you go, animatics. So that's what it was. Mm-hmm.
All right, next.
And for some reason, people were upset that they were girls. I don't know.
Ahsoka was voiced through by Ashley Eckstein throughout the Clone Wars series, maybe even some video games. I don't know. I don't play video games, but Ashley also narrated the audiobook that I listened to, and Ahsoka's alias while in hiding during the novel, her alias name was Ashla, which I assume was a tribute to Ashley Eckstein, who is very popular, obviously, with the Ahsoka fan.
You sure it just wasn't a cop out like Shang-Chi just going by Sean? Like, let's make it really easy.
I don't know anything. I assumed it was a tribute.
It's the term for light, right? From the original Jedi race or whatever, I think.
There you go.
She's also a very nice lady, by the way. I just because you're bringing her up, I don't think there's any connection between her and the name there, but she's very nice. That's why I think she's.
I can't remember what the word for dark is. It's Ashla, and somebody in chat may know, but it's like a yin yang type thing.
All right,
next up,
no idea.
Oh, scratch that. Next.
No, it's all right. This is good.
So the novel makes mention of how Ahsoka has grown taller since the time of Order 66, which kind of gives some believability to the character being portrayed by Rosario Dawson. Obviously, Rosario is a tall, lean actress. So, do with that what you will. The novel does talk about how Ahsoka had grown a lot.
I remember there was like near the beginning when she's like first comes to the first planet. There's like a 10-page description on how her mandrels or whatever have grown and are like scraping the top of the thing or something.
And I think there's a few more. Next.
Yep, you still got a couple more.
Yeah, so the novel was written, as we said before, by E.K. Johnston, who also wrote Queen's Peril and Queen's Shadow, two novels about Padme.
But not Queen's Gambit.
Not Queen's Gambit. About Padme and her handmaidens, and those are two of my favorite novels.
If you haven't read those are maybe you should give reviews on those. Those are crazy books too. They are
really good, especially Queen's Peril. If you read that and then go back and watch episode 1 movie, you will really have your eyes opened a little.
Yeah, I say we bring these reviews back. I think you.
We'll get to Queen's Gambit maybe a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I always thought there was going to be a third one, anyways. And I guess there isn't because I thought usually Queen Shadow.
Yeah, because Netflix stole it.
No.
They're being sued over that. I read, but anyway.
Wait, what?
I heard Netflix is being sued about that
for Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
Why?
The chess champion lady or whatever that's based on.
It
doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars, though?
No, nothing.
No. Nope.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
All right.
Next slide. In my head, and again, I found out as the novel progressed, dead wrong. At first, I thought that the Farty or Farky kids, whatever they are, I forget now, that they were all Force sensitive, and that they were actually going to grow up to be the Inquisitors. But no, that didn't pan out. So no.
They are the Farkies, right? Not the Farties.
I don't remember, to be honest. Now
I don't know, but I want them to be the Farties.
I kind of want them to be the Farties now too.
I do too. That's awesome.
It sounds like an award. I want a party.
All right.
And what's next?
You got one more.
One more. Okay. So this is the segue to our next segment, I think, which is the novel also had a very, very brief portion about Obi-Wan down on Tatooine. And it really wasn't really, in my opinion, unless I missed something, it really wasn't too important to the Ahsoka story, but I kind of wanted more of it because it was actually pretty interesting, the short little bit they had there. So if there was a tie-in, let me know. Maybe I just missed it.
It's very interesting. I think this point, and we'll talk about this part of the book because it's very short. Like, what is it, 2 paragraphs?
Yeah, extremely short.
Oh, well, you listen to it. Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, it's 2 paragraphs. And really what it is at one point when he's on Tatooine by himself, he's been isolated for so long that he can't keep getting these, he keeps having these premonition dreams of Anakin Skywalker. And the battle back and forth, pretty much the high ground thing. We'd assume going over and over again. Huh? Yeah.
I said high ground.
I got the high ground. And going over and over again. That type of stuff is kind of how, if I can recall, it's correct. So he's having those premonitions. Is it when Darth Vader's killing Jedi or whatever? No. Does it kind of link that, say, like maybe it's every time that later on, now that we know that he went out and hunted Jedi, it could be interpreted that every time a Jedi gets hunted down by Darth Vader, he was having these premonitions when he slept. But Qui-Gon Jinn comes to him and says, you have to let it go.
At the very end, right, he gets an echo or just a faint echo of Qui-Gon telling him, yeah, let it go.
You gotta let it go. Which would also naturally assume that he stayed on Tatooine the whole time, even while these Jedi were being killed. But that's a good lead in to what we're going to do for our next segment. So if you have to go now, because our next segment is all about the news about you guys kept saying Han in the chat. I was like, why are they talking about Han Solo? And then
because Fast and Furious.
Because he's Han.
He's Han.
He's Han.
His name was what is his name?
I think it was
Sung Kang.
Sung Kang.
But I think he was also Han in Better Luck Tomorrow, so he's Han to me. The dude plays Han in more than one movie.
I don't even know what Better Luck Tomorrow is, man.
Awesome.
Okay, so anyways, we're going to talk about this because this has been all the rage and all the craziness. And we went with the red lightsaber. Good, very good. Because now they're trying to make him be the fifth brother. Are they trying to make him to be now the 5th brother? But we're going to give you a couple options and maybe explain why. We originally were like limited to 5, and then we had a list of 20, and then I think we ended up Pete. I don't know how many we ended up with. 7.
I don't know. All I know is you just started throwing stuff out there for me to add.
Well, no, I was trying to not give away what we were going to do because it was good stuff. But then all of a sudden,
not give away what I'm gonna make it. I gotta give it away to me, so I know what I'm doing.
But it was a general chat, and then everybody's like, "Oh, wow!" I wanted you guys to question and be like, "Oh, that makes sense," or it doesn't. Now I'd explain to you why it makes sense.
It doesn't.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, let's go. Next up, who will?
To be clear, the news was that he had an interview and he said that his character has a lightsaber, so that kind of made waves.
He also said that his character was sexually delicious.
You focused it on that.
You focused on that. I don't know.
Yeah. JJ
everybody else is like, "Oh, his character is a lightsaber." You're like, "Oh, sexual delicious."
But I'm thinking if it's like the character sexual delicious, like he would have said that with some type of intent, where it's like, because I did watch it, is like you're not going to have like. The 5th brother is like not a character that you're like, oh, that's good.
There's only one of our choices that are.
All right, go ahead.
There's only one of the choices.
Oh, there's like 3. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying when you say sexual deliciousness, all I can think of is sexual chocolate. So I got Come to America on the mind.
I think it's hilarious. I think he was kind of flirting with the lady doing the interview and saying like in a joking manner, like, I'm gonna make this character hot. Like
even Kev's lost. We lost.
I mean, well, look, he was eating a lot, like Rusty in the Ocean's movies. Like he was eating a lot when he was on screen as Han in Fast and Furious. Look, even the picture here, I gave you something where he's got a snack in his hand.
What does that have to do with sexual deliciousness?
Because snack's deliciousness, and he's exuding sexuality through eating.
The interviewee asked him, "Can you tell us anything about?"
I think we're focusing on this way too much.
Yeah, we're focusing on
where's the rabbit hole?
They're asking. Okay, go rabbit hole. Let's go.
All right.
So, yeah. I mean, I think this is one that a lot of people could see, and it would play into the timeline. Is Kirka if a lot. I think Pete and me were on this one,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to kind of like age him up with like the Gordon Lee, like in
I'm not sure you
Kill
do
Bill,
it.
like Kill Bill 2, like when you take the actor and you put like the crazy white hair on him and just make him look like
No,
an
what
old
if
guy.
you
Well, you got to give him the beard, but
All you
yeah.
have to do is give him the beard. Yeah, give him the beard. Like people don't. You
Well,
don't
the
have to.
top knot. He's got to have the double top knots,
Yeah.
the man
Yeah,
buns.
sure,
man
you can give him
buns.
that. You can make him a little bit ripper, whatever. But like, this is a character who,
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty jacked though to play.
Yeah, I know, man. You check him out on that Vader cover. That's that
Well,
dude.
okay, help me out on this one.
Art subjective. Go ahead.
This character, and I only know what I've read in the volume 2 Vader.
What's up, half price?
This character, he was in exile. He really has nothing to do with Obi-Wan or Tatooine.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Correct.
So
This
Now,
is time to the
it
dreams.
does invite Vader into the equation, but it has nothing to do with Obi-Wan.
But you just got done with the Ahsoka book where you're saying he was having dreams, and this is where it may be. We know that around the timeline of the show, Vader was hunting down.
So this is going to be a vision.
No,
Maybe.
it explains how he. Everybody's taking the quote of what Kathleen Kennedy said. It could be taken out of context. I'm not saying it isn't, but she said Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. It's the greatest rematch of all time, or whatever. She could just be implying that they haven't been in the same project before in a long time. It's bringing them back together. Not that they because if you actually think of their battle, right?
Yeah, they're not going to be face to face.
Their battle in New Hope wasn't exactly so great. Obi-Wan just goes, "You strike me down, I become more powerful," and then gave himself up to the Force, right? Like it wasn't like it was
remake was awesome, but yeah, okay.
What's that?
The fan remake was awesome of that battle.
Right.
But,
But I mean, he wouldn't. Half price. He around this timeline, depending exactly where it is in the 8th through the 12th year.
Yeah,
which is where this Obi-Wan is going to be. No, he's
alive
dead.
in the time.
Yeah, he's
dead after
now.
this fight with Vader.
After this fight with Vader, he's dead. He's dead as shit, but he'd still be alive. But this would also strike out if we take the Tana book for what it is. If we read between the lines of the Tana book, it would give Obi those visions of every time a Jedi dies, we know that you feel the Force. We know we've seen it through Chris before. You have these visions, so that's what could be doing it. He could be transposing himself after this and having the connection back and forth.
Right, so it could be a vision. I'm on board with that. What I'm saying is, this guy would not be on Tatooine because he.
Oh no! We're not saying Tatooine.
No, not saying yeah.
No, but for the average viewer, you have to explain like why isn't Darth Vader? What's Darth Vader doing at it? They know Darth Vader. Darth Vader sells. So you could show Darth Vader hunting down Jedis, which would then explain. You could explain it through this. That why Obi-Wan is hiding on Tatooine and nobody can find him is because there's Darth Vader out there hunting down all these Jedi and killing them. And he could play this character right here. He could. So, no.
Great if you own this book. Awesome.
I think everybody owns this book. It's not this book. That's not his first appearance, by the way. That's his
Where
first.
Are you going to go with the 2?
Yeah, 2. But whatever. All right. Next
Everybody loves covers, though. You got to have
a good cover. Yeah. It's a good cover.
Got to have the cover. All right, our next one.
That's Soul, by the way. So that's the second series. It's 2017, number 2. Just read the arc. It's the 2, 3.
Soul.
He dies in 3, right? Yeah, of the Soul, not the Afro one.
Well, then in theory, if this is volume 2 then of Vader, doesn't that take... What movies does this take place between? 4 and 5?
3 and 4.
Pre-Hope.
Yeah.
It's Pre-Hope.
This is where the
pre-Hope. Volume 2 is Pre-Hope. What was volume 1?
Where the Inquisitors and everything else come into play.
This is Inquisitor.
This is volume 2.
2, yep. That's the Soul, the 2017. The other one before that, the previous one, the Gillian run, takes place after that. It's the Afra run. And during that part, Afra and Vader, it's like the Death Star blows up.
Yeah.
So you're after Hope before... well, now it's going in to get a little fuzzy, but it's after Hope and it's before Return.
So they did like an Indiana Jones thing where the sequel, Temple of Doom, actually took place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, so Volume 2 took place before. In chronologically, it took place before Volume 1. Okay. Moving on after Kirik in...
There you go, Darth Lopez. Go ahead. Okay.
We're going to fan favorite. Everybody's favorite.
Everybody loves it. I mean,
if you're
going to talk... Yeah, that's it. There you go.
There's your sexual deliciousness.
That's him.
When you
That's
think about
sexual
that,
deliciousness.
there you go. Sexual deliciousness. Also, something that might be pretty awesome is they have supposedly the rumor mills 50-50 if we believe it, but we do know both characters are in it. Moses Ingram is supposed to be a character in there too, and they say that her and we're calling him Han. Is that what we're referring to this man as? The Han from Fast and Furious.
He's always
guy.
just gonna be Han to me.
Yeah. So that character, they have a lot of screen time together and might be on the same team.
Well, if you start calling him Kang, you're going to confuse people.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Han confuses people too. We're a Star Wars show.
That's true.
And she actually has a lightsaber too, so maybe that's a Voss and I mean it's a far stretch, but it could be a Voss Ventress combo. However, more likely that eventually we have to get Voss, right? We're gonna get that. Like that's a Fiona Dave.
I feel like we hear it for every show though. He was supposed to be in Bad Batch. He wasn't in Bad Batch. Now he's supposed to be in Kenobi. I think the rumors are always. He's a popular character, so I think the rumors are always going to be there.
I think he's always following Dave around. So one day he'll show up. Either way.
So you're trying to connect the Moses, the actress, to Voss.
It wasn't me. Moses had said it. She said that she spent.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is we could have added this at the end. So you're thinking she could have played Ayla Sakura? Is that the connection you're here trying to make here with the?
No, I was just giving you a Voss. I was just giving you a Twilight Voss cover, bro.
All right.
Cover. I thought we were going to do the first appearances in their actual books, which this wouldn't be Voss either. It's the one before it, which would be 18, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, it's 17.
Oh, 17. So 17.
Yeah, 17 first.
Yeah.
That's why I gave you two
the picture you had sent me. That's
we were trying to fool around. All right. We will never get Voss. I know. I wish we would, but I don't think we're going to get Voss. I think the first pick is more option than this. But this was one of the names that came up because it always comes up. So we did it. All right.
Well, I don't think we're getting Voss without Filoni.
Yeah.
Like, I think Filoni's probably claimed Voss.
Yeah, but is he going to go back and do anything?
Yeah, why not?
Because he's too high now.
Second season of Bad Batch.
You don't pay the the owner of the restaurant to bust the tables, do you?
No, but he could take a special weekend of the month and say, you know what, I'm going to make my favorite dishes for a very select few. And
you never know. You never know. I mean, you never know. It's a series, so he could be on one show. All of a sudden, they've never done my
episode. That's my
episode.
Like, just the week I'm working is that week.
That week, and Voss shows up. Yeah, very good. Yes.
All right,
Voss,
we'll move it on.
Yes, that guy. Voss is still alive, and he's supposedly still around someplace during the Kenobi show.
He could definitely be in there. I just don't think
these are all people that are alive during the timeline. So I mean, they are. So this is Prosit Dips, which is the 10th brother. He first shows up in Mace Windu as Prosit Dips. Is it Dips?
Dibs. I'm pretty sure.
No, he's just Dibs.
That's a P, not a P.
Dibs. I'm saying Dibs.
No, you're saying Dips.
You're saying Dips.
Whatever.
It's that Michigan accent.
The 10th brother. It's honestly, it isn't an accent. It's the most normalized speech in the English language in American. That's why everybody from the Midwest, excluding Michigan and Ohio, when television first came out and in most radios, are from that area because it was the most non-accent. You should know this. This is history. Either way.
Probably not why. They probably just it's in the middle. So we'll just pick them because they're in the middle. The appeals to everybody.
Mojo, yes, but nobody pays you to bust the tables. You bust your own tables because you're a good.
Hey, there's a worker shortage right now. Everybody busts the table.
Yeah. Okay.
Off topic.
We're getting bogged down into a lot of rabbit holes. Either way, so this character, although dies at one point, is alive, and I might add, kind of interesting point, is the only, as far as we know, the only. What are they called? The 10th brother. What are they called? The Inquisitor.
I was gonna say, what are you getting at?
You have a single lit lightsaber. He actually has two, but still, and that
it was a Jedi Master.
Yeah, and was a Jedi Master. But all the rest of them have got rotating double splint blading, including the Inquisitor, that type of lightsaber. Okay, next up.
That was my pick. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think it was good. I like it. I actually had that pick too. Because I didn't read your guys' picks. That's why you guys were so confused, because I didn't read your picks and gave my picks and then was like, oh, that's funny. You guys picked the same thing, but it was different people. And I think I was complimenting your pick on Pete and Pete on whatever, dude.
This is like the most simple costume change. All you got to do is wear a mask and give him white hair.
Yeah, good to go. And he's got
a COVID outfit right there. He can just be fine.
That's right.
Pull up his gator. Just give him a wig. He's good to go.
Okay, next up. Gator and a wig, huh?
I know you question why I put this one in there because every like news site, this is the first thing they pointed at.
Yep. This is the popular pick or the rumored pick. Yeah. He's going to be the fifth brother, which I don't know.
Why is he going to be the fifth brother?
That's what the internet said. We went over this a few weeks ago, a month or two ago when it first came out. I think they were just like, well, he kind of looks facially like him, so yeah, the fifth brother.
Yeah, he's kind of a tall dude.
Are you talking about the guy in the hat below where it says fifth brother in red? That's the guy.
Yeah. That's the fifth brother.
Yeah, not the Grand Inquisitors on the cover of the book because that's the book he appears in.
By the way, every time I see this character, the one underneath fifth brother, I think of the villain in Cobra, whatever that actor's name is. I don't know what his name is, but it looks exactly
that guy, the dude with the knife.
Yeah. Looks exactly like this guy.
Once again, the way he could be now, fifth brother doesn't die during the timeline of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is
he's alive.
So if you
he's
have
alive
him,
at this point,
right? But if you have him on Tatooine, hunting down Obi-Wan Kenobi, it causes a very big, just like if you have Vader there, it causes a very big canon. Not like a small one where you have Dune, running and saying something to the wrong trooper says something. The fifth brother and Darth Vader showing up on Tatooine and running into Obi-Wan does have very big and widespread canon continuity issues.
Well, are we sure they're going to run into Obi-Wan? Like you're just.
But that's where I'm saying.
Let's not assume where we're going to see him on Tatooine.
Now,
just because we see him on the show doesn't mean that's where they'll be.
Now, if we take it back to the first guy where we're like Darth Vader could be fighting, then the fifth brother would make more sense because he could be out there hunting, which also gives you the suspicion of it going down. But they said that this character, as they said with Moses 2, is a main character, so you'd assume that it's going to show up more often than the fifth brother just showing up one or two times in an episode where he's hunting down Jedi. But neither here nor there.
Hey, are these slides just kind of thrown in at random, or are we going from most likely
random?
Random.
Absolute random.
Just random.
We can go back.
This was this was the popular internet pick. So this was.
But this was
before the lightsaber rumor came about. This was even the rumor before that.
Was the rumor before that.
Yeah.
That he was going to show up as a fifth brother. Mm-hmm. Which, you never know.
You never know. But next up, Sergeant Creel. This was the game master. This is what I was confused.
Yeah, the game master.
Game master.
Mm-hmm. This is a JJ wet dream and definitely a sexual. What is it called again? A sexual
deliciousness.
Sexual shock.
Deliciousness. Yes.
Yeah.
It is a single-handed lightsaber, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
How would this tie in?
It wouldn't. Timeline doesn't fit at all.
Not at all.
No.
It'd be cool from an Assassin's Creed standpoint, though.
Yeah, but it is fun to include somebody because this is a first force powered person. So
what do you really want
to be clear? His character uses a lightsaber doesn't necessarily mean that his character is a Jedi or a Sith or is force sensitive even. So.
It also brings up the fact that we can say Galen Malik because it could be a Galen Malik type character, which is none of these characters either. Which Star Killer, everybody wants us to say that, but we decided to not go down that rabbit hole. So, I
highly doubt it's going to be anybody that's not already in camp. We don't know for sure. We'll find out here in a second.
We could add somebody new. You never know.
You never know. As long as he's shirtless, I guess. I don't know.
And this guy was Sergeant Creel. He was one of the what was the troop again?
Oh, Scar Squadron.
Scar Squadron. So when everybody thought Bad Batch was.
Task Force 99.
Task Force 99. Not. Yeah.
Hey, he could be in there. He could be Boku's personal trainer.
That's right.
Funny story.
He did work for the Huts.
Yeah. Funny story. The pits that he's working in. Buku's like 18 pack. Gruku, the big muscle guy that knocks Luke out. Boku that knocks
Buku.
Who? No, Buku, but Greco, the guy who knocks out the Hutt that knacks out Grekis that knocks out Luke Skywalker with huge arms. He's got huge arms. Knocks him out one punch. That's the pit that our man Creel's fighting in. So good call, Jedi.
Well, it looks like he has the belt either way. He's got the championship belt like right around that waist right now.
Where is Hondo? Yeah, think about if he played Hondo and had a lightsaber. That would be pretty dope. Okay.
Hondo lightsaber. Well, it's got to be this one. We're going to put a bunch of makeup on him and he can be Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto, because he may or may not be dead. earlier.
Plus, who doesn't like saying Kit Fisto?
Maybe he's Plo Koon also.
My only thing about if
Plo
it's
Koon could still be alive. Kit Fisto's head's like.
So I'm assuming this is kind of a throwaway option, but
yes,
I mean, because if you're going to pay, if you're going to pay an A-lister star to put this kind of makeup, and I know the whole Mandalorian got it. I mean, you might as well make him Black K if you're gonna.
Well, Black K doesn't have a lightsaber, so
that we know of.
That is true.
That we know of.
That is true.
Yeah,
but, yeah, Kit Fisto.
He doesn't have one, but yeah, Kit Fisto. All right, so that was because
can Kit Fisto survive on a desert planet?
Cyborg body.
Listen, this is the thing about Kang or Fast and Furious Han. He didn't say he was going to spend his. He said he had a lightsaber and he was going to be sexually delicious. He did not say he was going to be on a desert planet. That's not something he added in there. Why would you just say like that's?
Oh, I was just throwing that out there for the interestingness of like, can he survive on a desert planet?
Yeah, he can survive.
Because he's like
got all those tax and everything.
Every time you see him, he's around the water. Like,
so did you pick Kit Fisto for the lightsaber bit or for the sexual delicious bit? Because you've been focused in on the hentai the last few weeks. I can't let that go.
That's honestly okay.
And the tentacles on the head.
Hey, here, let's drop the curtain down real quickly. Wasn't my pick. This was Pete's pick. And I said,
this was not my pick.
Whose pick was this?
I actually just want to hear. I want to hear Marco say sexual deliciousness, but in his Luke Skywalker voice that he did earlier during comic reviews.
All right, I'm looking through the chat to see. You guys are calling, so I'm going to look through the chat to see who put Kit Fisto into the chat.
You can look. All I did was, hey,
I can guarantee you it wasn't me.
Give me the 5 you want, and I'll put him down. And then Kit Fisto was
you just said you confessed earlier that you made your own picks prior to that.
I did. I haven't been feeling that well lately, and I have been behind on our chat. But I swear
medicated
to God,
haze. You decided.
I swear to God, I thought you said delicious. No. I did not think that was it at all. No, right here. No, it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to show everybody, but it does say here, Kit Fisto under Renovision at 12:05 p.m. on a certain date. Kit Fisto, just so I could say Kit Fisto out loud to myself.
Oh, well, that's why. Don't take that seriously.
I was in a drug haze, man. That NyQuil's a mother. So either way, that's why we got Kit Fisto.
I didn't realize I was the point of inception with me just randomly saying things. I'm sitting here talking about. Don't listen to me.
Why didn't I just put my picks? I want to put some of your guys' picks out there. Go ahead. What's up next?
What's up next is the bit that got me really confused this afternoon when you wanted to talk add slides. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so this is where it gets crazy. This is where this is the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes. All right. Shard Het. Now, hear me out. Okay. All right. That's his first here. And by the way, don't make me break out pictures and explain to you why Ashoka Het is not in here. Because if anybody can point out which one is Ashoka Het,
and this is why I got confused.
50 Sand people, good luck. Okay, next up, please.
Well, you want to skip over?
I want to skip over because this is how it all works. Ashoka Het. Okay, we need both of these. Okay, we need Ashoka Het.
Yeah, we put it all together. I can go back and forth as we talk.
Kang or the next person would be one of these two people. They would be Ashoka Het or Ashoka Het, and the next person is Moses Ingram. And this is why Moses Ingram had posted this and said she was training for the Obi-Wan show. Also leaked out that her and Kang / Han from Fantastic Furious 5 or whatever that car movie is, which isn't there like 15 of them now for some? Who watches that movie? Anyways,
I watched a couple of them.
But if you watch this, we would play it for you, but it's got a bunch of swearing in it, and we probably would get hit with a DCM. She's doing training with a singular lightsaber, right? And it's not just a small singular lightsaber. It's definitely like the Katoto, like long singular lightsaber, which when you see her moves would indicate, and I'm not saying because it's blue, but I'm saying because of her motion, you would indicate that it was a single lightsaber. Her and Kang, besides sexual deliciousness and having a lightsaber, have indicated that they've been having a lot of screen time together. And it was through her seemed that they were on the same side. If that's the case, it might make a little bit of sense if they were bringing in Ashoka Het and Ashoka Het. Do you remember they're on Tatooine? Okay, JJ, no? You got tired with this?
I was yawning, sorry.
And
yawn.
by the way, just like Jedi brought up before, how they turned the two girls were a male before, and they turned it into two females, the Martez sisters.
Mhm.
It would not surprise me that they decided that they were going to turn one of these into a female. You could do Sharad Het and have Sharad Het be Moses, a female, or you could do it as Kang being a female, because we don't really see.
It would
Sharad
kind of
Het.
be weird to make her the elder, because
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you'd
she's
have
a
to
lot
make
Mom's
her-
younger.
looking pretty old.
I know.
these
I think
days.
you'd have to make her the other one, but
Yes.
both have singular lightsabers. If it's going to be an Inquisitor, it's very hard. There's only one Inquisitor, which would be number 10, who's got singular lightsabers, and it's two. One of these would probably be training in it, and she wouldn't be training with a singular lightsaber because that would make her an Inquisitor too. So that piece doesn't work well if you're doing.
Why,
Can't their
let's just throw it out there.
can't
then.
their-
I'm gonna put the next bit in there.
Can't their double-bladed lightsabers can also be used as a singular lightsaber?
Yeah, just don't turn the one side on.
You could, but she's doing the behind the back cut, which if you have a rotating one, you're not doing the either way. If you watch the video on the
Or she used to be
man,
training
I'm
with a
not
random lightsaber.
She could be. This is really. I mean, really, dude. This is just everybody throwing crap against the wall. I think this, at least, we've got a little bit of like our rabbit hole.
This is why I put this in here, because the crap we do a fifth brother. I know they don't work together directly, but
yeah,
I threw this in there as an option.
Once again, I mean, I think. Sure, I'd like to see the Inquisitors, but I think when you look at it, I also want to see Darth Krayt. But could you imagine if she's? Oh, could you imagine people losing her shit if she becomes Ashoka Het? Because for those people in the chat that don't know, Ashoka Het turns into Darth Krayt.
Yes.
Yeah. But then again, this is one of those things where we talked about earlier. Like, do you think we'll ever see that character? I don't think we will.
Darth Krayt. I don't know. This would be a way to do it. And by the way, a lot of the storylines around this time period that you see in the comics, there's a very interesting storyline in. Well, it's how Outlander starts off, right? Like in book number 7, when Sharad Het first appears, how it starts off is the Sand People are going down and fighting with the Jawas and everybody else, the traders and all the market traders on Tatooine. In Star Wars, the Soul Run, Obi-Wan, during the Mike Mayu books, right? He actually is hired by the Jawas to protect himself from raiders of the Sand People raiding the Jawas. And actually, that's how he gets the money to buy the parts for Skywalker, and then Owen smacks him in the face and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting that they have this in both the DC, so the legend stuff, and in the current canon, and they could easily combine the two. And if you think they're above making a strong female character and switching it out for a male character,
gender swapping is
that ain't. There's a history of them doing that lately. So
and they also don't like to stray too apart from what they said. Oh, the Skywalker saga is over. Oh, really? Then why are you still telling stories inside that same time frame? Because they know they want to be able to call back to that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
but let's put it in the context of what Kenobi. Putting it in the context of what Kenobi is, though. 6 episodes, right? Fairly certain. Is it only 6? Are we going to build out this Het storyline with a father and a daughter or whatever?
Because you could spin it off, yes.
That's the whole idea. The idea is you build off of
I don't see it.
This show builds into something else.
Acolytes? I mean, seriously, bro.
But are they going to build it? I mean, nobody... Let's put it this way. The characters aren't even currently canon. Hardly anybody, unless you read Dark Horse Comics, knows who these characters are. Are they going to put them in there and then spin them off? And this isn't Ahsoka. This isn't Boba Fett. These are the Hets. I just don't see them like spinning it off into a show or anything. The Inquisitors, people know who they are.
Who knows who they are? Only the people who watch Rebels. Like
Rebels?
Yeah, which is
not so that's like
played the video games?
Who knows who they are? All the people who read the Dark Horse thing. I mean, there's a lot of. I'm just saying, like, I get it. If you were talking about somebody like, Revan, right? Like that's Revan's a million steps away, because you're right. The general
they didn't make that little High Republic kid have like a crepe mask for no reason.
Yeah. Well, maybe they did. We'll see.
We don't know that for sure, but yeah, I'd be nice. Like, I'd like to see the Hets. I just don't think it's going to happen.
People are comfortable with places like Tatooine. That is something that everybody's comfortable with. They understand the desert planet of Tatooine. Introducing a family that could somehow be there not interfere with Obi-Wan's, because the Het storyline could technically not interfere with Obi-Wan being on Tatooine. You could easily place it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why would they show a storyline of a separate family on Tatooine when you only have 6 episodes to focus on this Kenobi?
No, it's just because you just introduce them here, and then you tell their story in another 6-episode series that focuses on them.
Also, it also gives the general public, because everybody's watching it, the inlay for stuff like there was other Jedis that left besides Ahsoka Tano, and they trained other people, and they don't actually have to become Jedi, and it allows you to get that grouping where you didn't have like. There's going to be a lot of they're getting rid of Skywalkers. They're not getting rid of Jedi, right? Like, or light using Force sensitive people. They need more of those. This is a very easy way to create that, because that's something that people can understand.
Well, they kind of had that in the Last Jedi when they said Rey was not related to anybody, and then they decided to just throw that away.
I mean,
that's
are the
J.J. Abrams mess up?
Are the Hets that guy though? Because I mean, he dies and he just gets resurrected as Crate later on. But I mean,
is Asherad that guy?
Yeah, I don't.
You change around the story. Yeah, you can mess around with the story a little bit. Absolutely. And by the way, if you kill him, you just kill him off, or make him turn into a Crate and send him off someplace else where he's distanced from the Emperor, so he doesn't get around.
They can't do Crate. That makes no sense timeline wise. But yeah, I mean, they have to like fast forward decades into the future to do Crate. But
right, except for if they start it here and then Crate disappears because now they're all being hunted, it doesn't matter. If they go after, there's one guy that we didn't mention. If they go after Freed, right, who actually was a Padawan who rejected it and wasn't technically a Jedi, eventually Darth Vader kills him and he's got a whole clan of people. But if they go ahead, wouldn't it have to be, so to introduce the Hets, you'd have to do a flashback, right? No,
his father's dead. So how are you going to have his father on the show?
In Legends, his father's dead. What you could do is say that he left the Order. His father left the Order, right? You could have the scene that's in Star Wars number, 14, where that Mayu cover where it starts the Obi-Wan journals, where Obi-Wan is.
So you're saying they would basically transport the Het storyline
7 and
Legends
15
and just fast forward the time.
15. Yes. So you just fast forward the time, because the Darth Crate storyline was ridiculous anyways, because it went on. It took place at one point.
Yeah, don't think of it in stringent terms of they're going to stick with like the canon of this storyline of Darth Crate. It's the same thing like with the comic books in the MCU. They're just going to take what they want and fit it into the things they want to do movie television wise.
And you could easily take the Crate,
cherry pick what they want.
And you could easily take the Crate story, the greater part of the Het storyline, that they are on Tatooine, that there was an incident between them leading the Sand People, tribal Sand People, and against the Jawas in the marketplaces that were reformed there. And you can take the new canon where Obi-Wan is hired by the Jawas. So you get rid of what's his name with the big, remember they kept drawing him like a big phallic symbol and he was sweating all the time towards the top. You stop with that. He's dead already. That's done. So get rid of all that thought process.
Is that the sexual deliciousness?
It might have been the sexual
Mundi?
Yeah, Mundi.
Kyle Mundi or whatever.
Yeah, Kyle Mundi. Remember that? So you get rid of Kyle Mundi, and now that turns into the
Conehead.
Yes, it turns into the Obi-Wan. Yeah, but dude, that was ridiculous. At one point, they had like the farmer's hat, and the thing was protruding through the top of it. That was ridiculous. But you get rid of that, and you take the
disguise as a witch.
Space Wizard.
Yeah, Space Wizard. Yeah, he did. He looked like a Space Wizard. Yeah. Actually, what is it? It's the one before. Is it this? Is it what number is this book?
This one right here is 10.
Yeah, 10.
This one's
so is it 9? Is it 9 where they make Mundi look exactly like a space?
Yeah, there is one. We don't have it in front of us, but there is one.
They also made it look like a space samurai in several covers.
Yeah, it's either 9 or 11 where he actually looks like a
wizard. They give him that like
samurai floating dress, and he's got like the hat, the wizard hat, and everything going on. Either way, so if you take the Hets as people and you include them in that storyline, it makes sense because of who is trying to attack the Jawas. That's why they would hire Obi-Wan, which makes sense because they needed somebody who's equal enough to trug up to him. It also makes sense why he got paid and there wasn't any more problems, because then he could talk to them and tell them.
It all makes sense when you say that, but at the same time, you think of Occam's razor, and the simplest explanation is usually the right one, which is at this point seems like they're both Inquisitors, but.
Not in Star Wars.
I mean, I don't see that's. I actually have a problem with Inquisitor ones, and this is my problem with them being in Inquisitors. If they're Inquisitors and they interact on Tatooine, that means they're hunt. You know, we just in the Ahsoka book they hunted down.
But you just said earlier they didn't have to be on Tatooine.
They don't have to be on Tatooine. But that's not what the
they don't
rumor
have
is.
to be on
That's not
Tatooine.
what
but if you're
no,
saying
time
when-
out. The rumor is that he's the fifth brother and he's on Tatooine hunting Obi-Wan. That's what the rumor.
Yeah, well, that's a terrible rumor.
Let's
That's
be
a
clear.
terrible because it won't make sense because if this happens, whatever time, however long before like A New Hope and everything this takes place, it doesn't make sense how, oh, we found Obi-Wan and they fight him. And if they don't die, because we know they don't die because they're in Rebels, they don't say, hey, Vader, we found Obi-Wan. He's on Tatooine.
Yeah. But the basis of the rumor of the fifth brother is that he is hunting Obi-Wan and found like that's that's why they think it's the fifth brother, because he's an Inquisitor. He found Obi-Wan on Tatooine, which is obviously if you do that, that's just garbage. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
if we take that other rumor of it's more about the Imperials kind of hunting the rebels early on and Leia, like a young Leia and that type of stuff, that would, I see, bring in the Inquisitor part of it.
the only problem is, once again, we just read the Ahsoka Tano book or reviewed it, and if they were hunting young Leia, which would be around the same time, at that time, we would have had, it would have been a little bit of a different story. I think.
Well, I'm not saying they're hunting young Leia. I'm just saying there could also be Vader could be out there running the Inquisitors. Like that could be the scenes with Hayden Christensen as Vader.
Now that I think about it, maybe they weren't hunting. I was joking.
Oh, the Hayden Christensen is just gonna be drinking some
goes
blue
off
milk
planet
with
because-
Joel Edgerton, and that'll be it.
Or it could be, like I said in the chat, it could be anybody. But it's fun to
Are there any
game.
other choices, or is the head? Does it end with the head?
It ends with the head.
It basically ends with the head.
Do you have another one?
No.
No. Are we gonna pick which one we think is this gonna?
Oh,
be
sure, yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, we
Go
can play
ahead.
that game if you want.
I was going to answer some of the questions from the chat, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. And do that.
Two
first.
questions.
Answer the questions. Okay.
Sure.
Real quickly, this one, he goes off planet because something
back
or
to the
someone important is at risk. Organa asks him to. Okay. First off, Organa at this time already has got the fulcrum. So if something goes wrong, why wouldn't he just send Tano? Why would he ask Obi-Wan? Number two, his whole job is to not leave the planet.
Yeah.
Not leave the planet because he's supposed to guard the chosen one,
Luke.
the new chosen one. So why would he leave the planet? Number three, as the Tano book shows us, he also has having these nightmares or whatever, and he can't leave the planet because he's kind of crippled by his doubt that he did the right thing with Anakin Skywalker.
It does bring up an interesting point, though, of like, because Bail Organa is the one who knows that there are still Jedi out there.
Mhm.
Would he also be looking for Jedi?
No,
And if
because okay, he might.
and not Obi-Wan, because I know they said Obi-Wan and you separate. We're separating the twins. I know that part, but I'm saying, would he be seeking the help of other Jedi that may be out there?
Okay, this is one other part that everybody's missing about like the Organa connection with them too. It was supposed to be that they're separated and never communicate with each other so that they
I'm
can
not saying he communicates with
Oh
Obi-Wan.
no, I know, but no, I'm just saying like that's what the question with Darth Lopez is. Like,
Right.
well, the problem with that is like the whole if that's the case, then why aren't they just living together the whole time? Why all of a sudden Organa had got two kids? You know what I mean? Like the whole point was so that they'll never ever, and your whole job is to protect this person.
See, I mean, I know JJ read the Ahsoka book, but one of the things in the book that I didn't put in my report was that, that's one of the things I guess Bail struggles with is who to let in on the knowledge of Luke and Leia, right? Because he kind of struggles with it, even with Ahsoka. He struggles with that. And I think eventually Ahsoka figures it out, or he lets her figure it out. But yeah, to answer the question though, in my opinion, would Bail be seeking out other Jedi? I don't know. I don't think he's seeking them out. I think maybe if he stumbles across them like Ahsoka, maybe that's one thing. But
I think I think
too many people in the equation increase the risk of exposure for the two.
I would say this: the Het thing in like they have to do something with Obi-Wan to make Obi-Wan's actual story in the Kenobi show interesting. Because you can't just have old man in the desert sitting around protecting a kid the
Watching
whole
a
time.
little
Which
kid.
I think is what
Yeah,
they-
I mean, you got to do
Which I think is-
something with the character. So
Right.
to put the Hets or somebody in there would make it more interesting.
And that's where also, but it also comes to the other portion. You're right. You can't just have him sitting on a planet. But if you have the other portion where Darth Vader is hunting down Jedi, that gives the general public audience the
Mhm.
like, oh, there is a danger out there. That's why Obi-Wan isn't leading the planet. Yes.
Right. Well, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, he's also not leaving the planet because that's where Luke is, and that's what he feels his duty is to protect Luke. So unless Luke goes off planet, it's highly unlikely that he's going to go off planet.
Yeah, well, what if he has like a friend that he feels comfortable? You know what? I'm going to bounce for like a week. You keep an eye on Luke for me. I'll be back.
Well,
We'll take care of this
considering he through the comics always is just
Yeah,
creepily overlooking him, and that the only time that somebody does try to protect him, which is Uncle Owen, he gets knocked out by a black Chewbacca. Like, I don't think he's going anyplace, bro. Like, I mean, it didn't work out so well. So, I mean, I get that. Like, it's a stretch. Like, if that's the case, you're kind of giving up on years of lore that Obi-Wan was a hermit that never went anyplace. He was watching over Luke, and it doesn't make much sense either. It really, when you think about it, doesn't make sense for him to leave because, I mean,
it doesn't. It makes a lot more sense for him to have, like, as he's sitting in his little hovel and cave, for him to have memories or flashbacks and think back on other adventures or run-ins he might have had before lockdown.
Okay.
So what else would he do at that time?
Why would an Inquisitor need to hide behind a mask to get to Obi-Wan? I don't know what that means.
Like an identity? Oh, you're talking about Pro Set Dibs? And the mask he wears? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just like a gator.
I think he just wears the mask. Yeah. I don't know. It seemed cool or something. But
yeah. So but if that's the case, then if Bail Organa is the one giving them asylum, yes, I could agree on that. But that doesn't. So why would he get a hold of Obi-Wan? That's the thing. Like, if he's already giving him asylum, he's already got the fulcrum because he's got Ahsoka Tano. He's got so many resources. He doesn't actually need to. Like, the whole problem with the excuse from whoever was making it up when they're trying to link. Because what happened was they're like, yeah, the fifth brother, but it's not going to be on Tatooine. And there's no reason for him to go off planet. And they're like, sure there is. Because what if Organa? Yeah, I get that. But like, Organa won't call him. Like, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this. Like, do not get a hold of him. Keep them separated.
Yeah, but wouldn't Bail be like an odd choice for that to be the one to give them asylum? Because wouldn't like the Empire be, you know what? Like, out of all the dudes in the Senate, like, we remember you, Bail. I remember you bouncing out of there in your little flying car. Like,
there's gonna be a lot of Bail Organa in this thing. We curiously haven't seen Jimmy Smits listed as a cast.
Yeah, for everybody who's like, yeah, Bail's did this all the time. I think that's somebody they gave away Uncle Owen, like, sure, and Aunt Beru, but we got no. I think it's that one.
So Bail is running the rebellion at this point, but he's kind of
in secret. Yeah,
in secret, right? Because he has Fulcrum, which Ahsoka is his intelligence division or whatever they call it in the book. He has Achilles.
Roughly around this time, yeah.
Was it Achilles?
Wedge Antilles?
Wedge Antilles.
And then there was one other character in the novel too that they talked about. Was one of his trusted delegates or whatever that was helping him run the rebellion. I can't remember their name though. Achilles was one, I think.
Achilles, yeah. Guys, if you are rewatching this and you're listening to it, we know a lot of you do. We know you get like 800-900 people that do that.
Yeah.
Please turn on the chat, replay the full one, not the live one. The chat is killing it today. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are hilarious. I love to have you guys. That guy, what's going on?
Should we answer Mojo's question real quick?
Where was Mojo's? What are the 0?
You're at 0. I'm at like 2.5%. Very, 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 very low.
She would be.
She's not the right age, unless they put kid
Not the
version
right
of Afra in there. It doesn't fit.
I mean, maybe in the background. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna put her in for 6, but what point? Like, at that point, why are you putting her?
What's
in
the point? Who wants to see a kid? I hate that. Like,
well, now her father might be right. Her father could possibly be in there. Her father
could actually be. Yeah. If her father's there, she could be a little
research of Jedi artifacts. And stuff.
She could be a little shit.
No, it's Frank Afra. Hey, we know that guy.
His name wasn't Frank.
I know. It's much more likely if you guys see her, you was much more likely to see her in something like Andor or something.
I think the question is because we mentioned Black K, and Black K was working for the Hutts at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Don't forget, Wookiees live to be very old. Also,
That's true. That is
Well,
also
it's-
true.
He could give Jedi Asylum. Yep. Okay. I think Obi is. I'm sorry. I think Obi will only see Anakin as nightmares. Yeah, like having PTSD. I think that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, I just think it makes sense, and you won't have to break a bunch of canon and do a lot of like retcon. So,
Oh, then I'm telling you, we're gonna be sitting. He's gonna be sitting there with Joel Edgerton. They'll be drinking the blue milk. And he's gonna go to bed, and that's when he's gonna go slaughter all the sand people.
I think
and as far as material for the show itself, if they follow the comics, I mean, Obi-Wan had run-ins with Jabba and his henchmen and some other stuff as well.
He
right?
did.
So, I mean,
yeah, he ran. There's danger on. There's already
plenty of danger on Tatooine.
Already danger on Tatooine. So like there is enough action.
Well, there was a Legends novel that the entire thing was him inserting himself into a turf war between moisture farmers and Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, which we could have
That's where you should work the hets in.
Which actually, in the new canon, they had that.
Not those Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, in the new canon, they took out the Raiders, and then ended up becoming the Hutt clan. Jabba doing that and sending out a bunch of hooligans. So we already had that. If he stays, we better get Qui-Gon. I think we would if we have the nightmare.
I think we'll get a voice. I bet you we get a Liam Neeson voice.
Yeah, Liam Neeson
telling him that to let it go. I think we're gonna hear that little tidbit that was in, because a lot of that stuff came out too for Darth Maul. It would be really cool if you saw that.
Maybe even shoehorn in a CGI George Lucas Force Ghost.
Well, that you bring up a good point, and I think I've had this conversation in IG chat with some of our viewers. Do you want to see a live action Maul Kenobi scene like was in Rebels? Would you like to see
that one?
I said no, but you've asked this before, and I'm kind of like, am I saying no because I don't want it to be bad and upset, or I'm saying no because I don't actually want it? I'm saying no because I don't want him to fuck it up.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
But that's always my mindset, because a lot of times they mess stuff up, and usually I'm like, yeah, well, it is what it is. What did you want? I'm usually that type of guy that's never.
Well, it's a TV budget. What do you want them to do?
What do you want them to do? You know what I mean?
I would just say.
I really hope they don't touch that. Yes.
Yeah, and I do want to tamp down everybody's expectations a little bit of what you're like. It's 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not like, I don't want everybody to say, "Oh, this is all going to be in there." It's 6 episodes. So
So JJ's saying that it's 6 episodes takes me into my pick, if I could.
Okay.
My pick is going to be that it's the first one, the Jedi that's on sabbatical, whatever it's
Keith Island or whatever.
Infilla, that guy.
Infilla.
I think to me that, I mean, I want it to be Voss. I really do. But I think this is going to be my pick, and I'm also going to say that I know you guys were talking earlier about, well, this could lead to this when you're talking about the hets and stuff. I don't think, and sometimes you got to go out on a limb to stand out and be different, and I'm always wrong. I don't think we're looking at any spinoffs coming out of the Kenobi series.
If there was going to be one, they're not going to tell you yet.
I think we're looking at 6 episodes and we're done. They're going to move on.
I think it's going to be just like the Book of Fett, where they say we're giving you 6 episodes because it's going to open up.
And the other question is, do they spin something into something they already have planned?
Yeah,
like Andor or something along those lines.
Yeah, this is a good pick, though. I mean, this is a strong pick. I would think out of them, this would be up towards the top of picks of what could actually occur. Darth Lopez, once again, I have to respectfully disagree with you. I think because it's 6 episodes, you can stay on Tatooine for 6 episodes. I think if it was like 12 episodes, you might have to go off planet for that. I mean, with your saying here, exactly 6 episodes, which is why you can't stay on planet. Wouldn't you think if it was 12 episodes, he'd have to get off planet because it might be too much?
To answer Stick's question too, that's not in the timeline yet.
What did he say?
Obi-Wan's burial of Maul after he kills him.
Yeah,
that's way later. Like Rebels later. Right.
Also, don't think of 6 episodes as being like too short and that like you can't get a lot done, because if written properly, you can get a lot done in 6 hours.
But yeah,
I'm just saying
you just said
appearances.
All right. We'll say four and a half.
Yeah. I'm saying appearances of multiple people though are like rarer when there's only a limited amount of time.
Yeah,
Well, to
I-
clarify
All
what
I'm
I said
saying is, I know
earlier,
you guys. This has nothing to do with Star Wars. Watching Heels on Stars, they've gotten pretty far along in the few episodes. They haven't even in six episodes yet, but they've gotten pretty long in what you would have expected a series to be. Like, oh, they're going to stretch this out. They didn't stretch it out. Like, they move things along quickly.
You can do a lot too. I mean, look at the first season of Walking Dead was what, 8?
Yeah,
Like 8 episodes,
like
and
that.
that's commercials. So you chop those down to what, 48 minutes a piece, probably. So.
Yeah. And you could always have flash up and fast forward. Sorry, Jedi. I know you're chomping at the bit to finish off.
no, I was just going to say, I wanted to clarify what I'm saying. I don't think we're going to have any spin-offs from this. So in other words, I don't think they're going to introduce some character for 15 minutes or have an episode like they did in Mandalorian for Ahsoka so that we can see Ahsoka later. I don't think we're going to see a character in Kenobi for the sake of a spinoff or a later
But
TV
why not?
series.
Like, why would they
I
bother?
just don't think we will. I don't think you're going to see any characters.
So that
That's one of the reasons I picked Karak and Phila is because he dies, and there's nothing.
Well, I'm just saying.
point.
Think of it from the perspective of conglomerate. Like, if they're going to take the time to make content, why wouldn't they make content that's going to give them the chance to make more content? Not to say they have to. Why would they bother telling this story then? Whatever
because
story
it tells
they tell
a story, and people want to see it, and people are going to watch it on Disney Plus. It doesn't have to go anywhere else, in my opinion.
Because so many people were upset when they heard the canceling of. They know people will tune into this. They know it's going to be a hit. They don't have to add anything onto it. That is the only reason why they do it, is because people were upset that the movie was canceled, and there's a big outcry for it.
I'll say this to Jedi's point. A lot of people are like, well, they wouldn't sign a big name guy or something like that to, such a small role, but they do. It's Star Wars. People want to star in Star Wars. Look at Timothy Olyphant, who's not exactly like, a no-name guy, and he came in and did one episode and then 10 minutes, I think.
They got Daniel Craig to do the voice for a stormtrooper.
Exactly.
I mean, so I'm saying that's what actors will go in for, small roles like that, whereas only an episode or two.
Yeah,
I would agree. It does open up. This is something it does open up. If he does the Jedi plan and he does this, it opens up where you do get a series where Vader goes around and kills people, and Vader does very well. I mean, they brought Luke Skywalker back and just gave him Vader's moves, and it got people.
There's been rumors of an Inquisitor series, too. I mean,
they don't do anything without thinking things through. They don't give us nothing without hopes to make more. To make more money, to make more product and content.
I just don't think that just because you're only doing 1 or 6 seasons of Kenobi and that's it, that doesn't mean you haven't thought it through. That means you're just doing that.
I agree with Jedi's point, though. I think if they do that, they'll tie it into something sooner, rather than like an Inquisitor show that may come out 4 years from now or something.
4 years.
I don't know, 3 years. 3 years.
Well,
you did get Book of Fett quickly.
You're already 8 years backed up, man. 4 years. If you come out with anything, you're talking.
Well, Book of Fett wasn't in that announcement.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Book of Fett was. They had that ready to go.
Yeah, but now they pigeonholed every. Like, it's crazy. Like, if you look at that stuff, like how much that's pigeonholed together. Think about this: the Obi-Wan show was supposed to start 2 years ago. Not the movie, but the actual show 2 years ago. They just are about to start filming it, and they rushed the writing of it up. So I mean, they got a long way to get a lot of shows done.
They don't have that long though. Think of it this way, like again with the Boba Fett example, like they had that ready to go. We didn't know as viewers and watchers they had that ready to go.
They've said that they don't have acolytes even written yet. They don't even have. They have a rough outline for that.
But we don't have to get the acolytes. It could be something they haven't announced. They don't have
New Republics. They said that the Ranger Republics.
That's what I'm saying. They could spin something out of this they have not announced. It could be a surprise that they have somebody writing.
Yeah,
it doesn't take them much time.
Like an Inquisitor show, like they did for Book of Fett, is what he's saying. Where we could see by the end of Kenobi, we could say, "Oh well, here's Inquisitors coming a year from now."
But I
agree with Pete. They absolutely could do it. It's just my opinion that I don't think they're going to.
It's a tough time to try to do something like that with the pandemic and but at the same time, while it's tough to work and film, they could have something written. They could have had their writers working at home saying, you know what, we're going to want to have something ready to go because we will have studio time. We can book a studio for like 2 months because they're not making movies. They're not making any trilogy movies or anything like that right now. So they can book their, whatever big studios they want to use to make their shows. They just need to have it written and have it ready to go.
And we don't know anything about the actual plots of the things they are planning.
Exactly.
Like, Rogue Squadron could be lots of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Rogue Squadron we know.
They've come out and said they don't even have plots for half these things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah, but do you believe that?
Whatever.
Yeah. Oh no, I do.
Do you believe that?
I wouldn't till I heard about the Republic thing.
No.
Which
I think they have. I think they have plots like planned out, but they're like outlines. Like they're easily changeable from what they have.
Get on. When do you? Somebody else give their pick.
My pick was Dibs.
You Dibs? All right,
Dibs. I got to go over to Dibs and not Voss.
Yep. I think it's an Inquisitor, and I think the best fit is Dibs.
That's a good choice. Dibs died by. Then we could get freed, which would keep him off planet because that's where he dies. He never does show up on Tatooine. Very good. So he would never have. We do know his life.
I think if you're going to see somebody hunting down Jedi as an Inquisitor, my pick's Dibs.
There you go. So that would be a Inquisitor that makes sense because he dies around this time, anyways.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Once again, so we'd see him, and we get to see who ends up killing Freed. Is it Darth Vader?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Darth Vader. Yeah.
Does he?
Gotta be. So. Yeah, it's gotta be Vader. So Vader gets to kill him. So there you go. So that's where Vader fits in. Perfect. Pete, who do you have? Tell me a Kid Fisto.
Yeah, because I want to think Kid Fisto.
I do too. I want to see more Mace Windu too.
Kid Fisto. No. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be any of these. I feel like they're going to make somebody new.
Play in the field?
No, I'm not. But yeah, I feel like they're going to make somebody new that they haven't introduced so they can do whatever the hell they want and not have to explain it to us. They'll tell us some weird-ass side story of, oh, well, no, this is where this guy was this whole time. I don't know. I just don't think they're going to give us somebody from a Dark Horse comic now. Unless they have something bigger planned, I don't see the benefit in them doing it. So I just feel like it's not going to be anybody we know.
What if it's Hunter?
Honestly.
What if it's Hunter?
No.
You think so? Just because you give him a red headband, he can fit right in?
Yeah, he looks like a hunter.
Oh,
throw that bandana around his head.
He just picked up a random.
Again, I also would love it to be Voss, but I mean, I don't know if Han would be a good Voss though. The actor, I don't know if the actor would fit the role.
I think somebody a little bit younger.
I need a little bit something more dynamic.
Yeah,
Han is kind of cool. Like he's kind of a cool stand in the back. I'm just gonna chill. I don't need to do much.
I would love Voss, except for because that means we'd probably get the Dark Disciples finally. But to be honest with you, my dream is probably the Hets. It'd be awesome if it was the Hets, but more realistically,
direction now.
No, don't go that direction. More realistically, this is who it's going to be. This is who I have. This is exactly who I thought it'd be when they announced it, because you could always add him having another Jedi with him, which could be Moss, and then
Moses.
You got two Jedi
Stop
there.
saying Moss.
Or Moses.
Say Moss.
Moses Ingram. Then you got your two Jedi there. You get a sweet Darth Vader fight where he gets thrown and they think they kill him and he's still alive and he comes back, does some killing. You can at that time maybe introduce, if you really feel like it, an Inquisitor. You have to. But that's what I go with. I mean, the Hets, though, is who I mean.
Hets would be good. I just don't know if they would do that, but the Hets would be good.
He was in the background. Yeah, Voss makes sense. It's also a thing, but dreaming would be.
I don't know enough about her to know what we would get out of. Because you could
do
that.
That was the Queen's Gambit connection I referred to earlier. She's in that movie.
Well, if you have Voss,
I gotcha.
If you have Voss, then she could be. It could be a throwback Vision, and she could be Asajj. She doesn't look like Asajj as far as her physical features, but
I think what we said earlier, if she's going to be a female with Voss, it'd probably be Sakura.
But it would also have to be a throwback too, because we saw her get wiped out in Order 66.
She would be wiped out with Order 66.
That's the only problem with that.
Yeah.
Then again, what she does have the two buns could be signifying her Twi'lek.
Well, the other rumor about her was young Ahsoka, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that was the rumor on the interwebs.
The internets is full of rumors, and most of them aren't right.
What about the other and I'm just going to throw this out there. What's her name? She came up in the God. Was she in the novel? The one that yeah, she did come up in the novel a few times. The one that tried to frame Ahsoka that they put they put
Very
in prison.
good. There we go. We pulled it out. I didn't think we were going to get to oppress, but we did.
Yeah.
Very good.
Offie.
She could be
Oh,
Offie
Barris,
oppressed.
Ophi. Yeah, I did see that rumor too.
Oh, that was a rumor that's who she could be playing?
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I did see pictures. Like when I
That's
was
good.
looking up the actress, like that was one of the things that also came up in like options. Like, should be playing Barris,
Which would mean that they're running around randomly, which would also give us, a couple other options, but very good. All right. So they could be just saving random Jedi that aren't Jedi. We could get freed at that point or whatever. All right. I think that's it. We've done enough. The chat is great. Hopefully they give us a thumbs up. Come back, see me and Pete on Wednesday. Pete, do we know what we're doing on Wednesday? Oh, are we doing Y?
Yeah, we were gonna do Y and Brian K. Vaughan stuff. I still gotta watch the rest of the episodes though, but I'll get there.
Yeah, cool.
We'll be tomorrow's episode 4, so I can power through them all.
Make sure you're supporting the channel, whichever channel you're watching, or both channels.
Yeah, both
If you're
channels.
watching over on Renovision, make sure you're over there supporting, giving thumbs up. He's got lots of content coming out every week, and so does Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside's got great content every single day, including the main show on Monday. Hey, Pete, nice ghost, by the way. If you guys didn't check that out, make sure.
Oh, the one I did yesterday. Yeah, that was
Very good.
It was me talking for like 35 minutes by myself. My voice was hoarse. I'm still doing one on Tuesday though, and then it'll be back to the old school.
Listen, we have to give Sticks a book away next week. We have to.
Oh, that's right. Sticks did want to give
Sticks. Sticks. I'm sorry, we forgot about it, and I am exhausted. So we will try to give it away. You know what?
I'm not going to be here Sunday though.
No, don't worry about it. I got a way to give away his book. There's something that I don't think anybody reads. If you read it, comment below this video after it's done that you read it, and you'll know what to say.
Why
Please
are you
do
so
that.
cryptic?
Well, because I don't want to give it away. Because I don't want to give it away. But do it. Feel free to do it. Feel free to give your answer down below.
And don't ask us on IG because I don't have a clue.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Because nobody reads this. Nobody reads this.
All right, so nobody reads this. But answer?
Somebody's got to read it. It has to. I'll tell you guys when we get out of here. But
is there like a hint or something?
Yeah, I'm saying give the audience a hint.
Tell me what nobody reads. You just tell me in the comments below what nobody reads. In the comments below, tell me what nobody reads.
I have an idea, but I don't know.
Yeah, you probably do. All right, guys, that's it. We're gonna take off.